Carlton kicking to the left of screen, Hawthorn to the right. Caverton goes against here. Big crowd here, perfect conditions, slightly overcast, but ideal for footy. DeLulio got tackled early. Here's Gleeson from 40 metres to kick the first goal of the game and misses on the run. And in the end, Jared, pretty easy.
Yes, he had plenty of time there to steady. He should have made more of that. Would have been a fantastic start for Carlton too after bursting clear of the centre.
Oh, dangerous kick out by Langford, a very poor kick in fact. Put Ayres under the hammer. There's a series. Andrew Collins has dropped the sitter. Bad hand pass. Morrissey across goal and then elects to just handball it through for a behind. But a lot of mistakes made in that little passage of play, Jared.
Yeah, there was a bit of there's Morrissey having a bit more to do there with Silvani. He took the easy way out, but I think at the start of the game it was also the percentage thing to do. Well,
off it goes to centre wing. Great play there by Jenky. Now it's Alex McDonald getting onto the right foot. Into the half-forward line. Hudson at the back. Hall at the front. Hudson picks up with a free kick in the meantime. It will go back to Hannah at half-back.
Drop punt centre wing. Who's the target? Running under it, Spalding. Missed by Sexton. On top of it is Madigan, and it'll be a ball up.
Well, Ben Allen's got the job on Craig Bradley. Bradley a little bit quiet last week against Brisbane, but burst on the scene after three-quarter time and was significant in their win.
Greg Deere just got rid of Caverton there. Ratton held on to and will get a free kick. Gives it to Bradley, who gets an early touch. It could be important for him. Left foot, Kernahan the target. Langford at the back. Kernahan playing at full forward. Jenky's handball to Jarman. Morrissey couldn't take a hot one. Jarman attacked the ball heavily. Alvin tackled. Morrissey swings it cleverly. And Pritchard's away to centre half forward. Dunstall on a long lead. He gets him. Fight on behind play. Morrissey and Silvani again at centre half forward for Carlton.
Yeah, the Hawthorn players a little bit incensed by the late bump from a couple of the Carlton players. I think Carlton are really going to apply the pressure. That's one way they believe they can upset Hawthorn, by dealing with them extremely toughly in the physical department.
Well, Dunstall kicked 12-4 last week. Leans back and kicks the first goal of the match. Did it get through? It did. Dunstall's first. The Hawks lead. They're a goal. The Blues are 2 points.
Yes, well, he's a marvellous player, Jason Dunstall. A little bit down last year. Kicked over 80 goals, though. Had an injury with his ankle. Perineal tendon, Peter, kept popping out, but he had surgery on that to correct it.
Thanks for that diagnosis, Jared. Good start to the Hawks. Very predictable, that passage of play. That's a free kick to Carlton. Will go to Gleeson, a holding decision. It's a beautiful pass by Pritchard, and Dunstall receives a lot of his goals from Darren Pritchard. There's the kick to the half-forward line. Jarman in front, couldn't take the mark. Collins traps it, gets it to Pritchard. Now to Jarman, now to Platten. Here's Hudson at half-forward, gets a bad bounce. Tackle on Hawthorn was by Paul Deere. This is Fraser Brown at centre wing. The chip passes on, and he's found his man. Platten, very late, could have been 50. Matthew Hoggers mark, former Footscray player, obviously picking up Platten. A shocking kick to the half-forward line. Pritchard taps it away. Spalding in towards full forward. Taken away by Langford. It'll be a great duel again between he and Kernahan. In the past, Langford has won a lot of duels. Hannah, great mark.
They started well, Carlton. I know they're behind on the scoreboard, but they're attacking the ball well, and that's winning the ball out of the centre.
Hannah towards full forward. Kernahan, Langford caught out of position but did very well in the end. Pritchard misses it. Tap forward by DeLulio. Quick kick away by Madigan. Here's Pritchard and Bradley. Good take by Bradley, and the give's okay to hold. Left foot to full forward. Silvani with the right at the back. Couldn't take it. Collins gets a free kick. Ticky touch good, but it was there, I guess. And now Ayres, the captain, from centre half back.
Gary Ayres. Oh, poor kick by Ayres. He kicked it straight to Scholl. Had two men to give it to. This is Mark Hawthorn. Around the corner he goes to the half-forward line. Greg Deere waits for it. Traps it well. Gives it off to Morrissey. This is where Hawthorn are good, the way they back up. Again, they're creating loose men. Gowers. Hudson at half-forward waiting for the bounce. Taps it away from Hawthorn. Goes to get it again. He's got back-up support. Hudson still going. trying to play for the free kick. McDonald in after it. Players come from everywhere, and this will be a bounce at half forward for the Hawks.
Well, that kick from Gary Ayres we saw only a couple of seconds ago, it just held up in the wind, and there is a wind going to the left of screen worth about, I'd say, in the vicinity of 2 goals. So Carlton would want to be in front at quarter time.
Hannah, good tackle on him though. Gleeson misses it. Gowers now Paul Deere. Left foot, Dunstall versus Kernahan, and Bradley chipping in from the side. Or Fraser Brown, I should say.
Yeah, Fraser Brown, a good game last week against the Bears. He's one of the Carlton's better players.
Gee, Alvin was off and he's caught.
That should be holding the ball. He played on Bruce and was caught. That's holding the ball.
But he wasn't really given any chance to get rid of it though, Peter. The tackle pinned the ball to him. Sorry to disagree with you.
Hang on, Jerry. He had the ball and went to play on. And he's caught. That's holding the ball.
Agree with you, Pete. There's Bradley, Jarman. Quick kick by Scholl. It's going to be a difficult one. Arsiri and Collins together. Oh, well played, Collins to Deere. Comes back to Jenke. On his left foot, looks for Gowers and gets him. Gee, that was a good kick, wasn't it?
That's Hawthorn all over. Pinpointing passes all over the field. A lot of people consider that they play the long game, but have a look now. They play the short game and they maintain possession.
Pritchard to the pocket. Hall in front. Chases in after, but it's thumped over the line, and he helped it on its way as well. Carlton have really had a bit of the ball so far, but they trail on the scoreboard by 4 points. It's good to see Darren Jarman playing up around the middle. So that's where he'll play his best football. Kick by Ratton to centre wing. Allen putting the pressure on. Still the tap on, comes to Platten. Platten races away on the left foot, brings it into the pocket. Thumped the ground. Good play by that strong Carlton defence. Hannah gets it away. The short pass is on. That was from Sexton. Back it comes to Alvin. Sexton wide. Fraser Brown into the pocket. The lead is on to Asiri. Collins with hot on his hammer taps it over the line.
So the Blues deep in attack. Kicking with the aid of the breeze. Dunstall the 1 goal scorer so far. Deere and Sporting. Sporting in the front spot, takes it out of the air. Well played, Jenke, because it was meant for Silvani. Pops it up. Fraser Brown's going to have to show some courage here, and he does. Against the tide. You could see that Hall wasn't going to quite make it. Drop punt, awkward looking kick. Kernahan not really given him much of a chance. Arsiri tries to tap it forward. Bradley run off it cleverly. Here's Greg Deere. Sweeps the handball to Morrissey. Sits, waits, gets caught. Shrugs off Gleeson. Goes short. Looks for Anderson. Here's Cavan. Free kick Anderson. Loose play by Ratton because the Blues were in the box seat.
We're off and running with the ball. This is Dean Anderson at half back. To the half forward line. Hall sits himself. Hannah will come from the back. Thumps at the ground. Disciplined play. Paul Deere. Quick hand pass. Hudson trying to get his boot to it. It's to the half forward line. Pritchard on Hawthorn. Good play, Pritchard. Platten's there also. Now it's McDonald off the ground. Sexton will race this to the line, I would think. Hawthorn will help it on its way, and it'll be a throw in at half forward. But already you can see Hawthorn players swarming to where the ball is.
Mark Hawthorn, 4th club he's represented at league level. Here's Hudson. Gives it back to Paul Deere. Thumping kick normally. Goes for the goal. Kernahan and Dunstall, and tapped by Kernahan. Well played. Concedes a behind, and Hawthorn at 1-1 to Carlton 2 points.
Well, an interesting move from Carlton in that they've got Matthew Hogg tagging Platten, but Hogg's not going into the centre bounces. He's waiting out on the wings. When the ball's bounced, in they come. Obviously, Carlton don't believe he's good enough at getting the ball out of the centre.
David Kernahan, thumping kick, looked for Earl Sporting, didn't quite get there. Pritchard's quick give, taken by Allen, back to Dunstall, being hung on to by Kernahan. He still takes the mark.
A great mark, Jared, isn't it?
Well, that's his strength. In a one-out battle, he's like a Sherman tank, Jason Dunstall. He's got massive strength in those big thighs we could see on screen. There they are. And there's no way that David Kernahan will be able to out-strength him. So he must try and come over the top. And on that occasion, I thought he could have punched one of his arms away. He wasn't going to be able to touch the ball, but if he had punched his arm, he may well have spoiled the mark.
Well, Dunstall for his 2nd goal. Puts it through. Hawthorn 2-1, Carlton 2 points. And Dunstall's kicked the 2 goals of the match. So he's off to a flying start in 92 with a dozen last week at Waverley Park against Geelong.
Yes, 2 quick goals in the first quarter. He'd be very happy. He was a little bit suspect. He had a bit of an injury, turned over an ankle, but he started in flying colours.
11 points the margin. Greg Dearhall gets it out to Anderson. Anderson's got a couple to beat here, Ratton being one of them, and Ratton wins out. And he gets in the hand pass. Scholl overruns the ball. Anderson went back. Bradley, good play to Asiri. Mark Asiri. Now the one-on-one battle. Langford at the back. Kernahan there also. Collins back up support. Here's Silvani to DeLulio. Kicks at goal. And a good goal to the Blues. First goal to Carlton, kicked by Ron DeLulio, the recruit from Box Hill.
Yes, it was an excellent goal. For a minute there, I thought DeLulio was going to take too long to kick it. He had Paul Cooper bearing down on him, and Paul Cooper attempted to tackle rather than smother the ball. But a good handball from Silvani saw Ron DeLulio kick his first goal for Carlton.
13-8. The Hawks by 5 points. Kavanagh went very early. Here's Anderson out of the centre. Hall and Hannah hanging on to one another. Well played, Hannah. Off the ground by Deer. Again, Alvin chips into half-back. Here's Fraser Brown. Bradley there to support, but waited for a handball, and Brown had to do it all in the end. Paul Deer missed the handball there from McDonald. It was a tough one. Brown caught by Anderson. McDonald, an awkward one. Dunstall with the run of it. Still Dunstall again. Don't tell me he's going to kick another one. It's a beauty. It's his third. What a great goal. 3-1 to 1-2. And that was a bit of magic by Jason Dunstall there.
Well, even the great goal-kicking machine of the 70s, Peter McKenna, was impressed by that one. It was all class, that goal, wasn't it?
Was it ever? It was magnificent, Jared.
I thought he was going to look for the handball wheeling around, but showed great skill and dexterity and plugged through his third.
Well, they're a very, very difficult side to beat, this team. There's Anderson to the half-forward line, Platten and Hall. Hall races at it. He's trying to play it in front. Oh, he went in very hard, and he gets ridden into the ground, and players that converge, it'll be a bounce.
Well, this is a crucial period for Carlton, I should say, because Hawthorn, despite the fact that they're 2 goals in front, haven't dominated, but one gets the feeling now that Hawthorn are just about ready to go on a goal-kicking splurge.
It's Ratton towards the Rat himself, Platten. There's Arsiri. Missed by Hogg. Platten over the top of it. And it'll be a ball up. You reckon it was holding the ball? Yes.
Well, I think when players dive on the ball, as John Platten did on that occasion, he should be paid the penalty. He should be knocking the ball out, and that's what the commission changed the rules to make the game more flow, and we can't have players diving on the ball.
Here's Hannah, back turns. He's done a good job in defence. Alvin has been given the stick early by Anderson. There's Brown. Notice Anderson's one of the hard balls out of the centre today. Sporting with the run of it and runs it out of play. So the Blues in attack. Earl Sporting played in all those finals with Melbourne. So great draft pickup, you'd think. Great choice here for Carlton. He should be able to give them something, some height and experience down the centre. Morrissey, Jenke squeezes it on the left foot towards centre wing. And Dean, one of the veterans here at Carlton.
Well, a couple of the lineups, Brett Ratton, who did a great job on McLean last week. He's picking up Jarman in the middle. Platten's he's on being tagged by Hogg, and Bradley's being picked up by Allen.
Kick from Hudson to the half-forward line. Oh, danger here because Jarman, the brilliant Jarman's got it. Kicks it goal and slams it through. Great play by the South Australian. Well, they're dynamite, this side. You cannot make one mistake the way Jarman came in on that one, Jared.
No, he's got all the skills of football. He's a fantastic attacking player. He's the classical half-forward flank, although he's got more ability than that. He can play in the middle, and I believe he'll win a Brownlow one day.
Well, the Hawks have got a fly here at 4-1 to 1-2, 25-8. Kernahan given a run on the ball for Carlton. And obviously a Hawthorn player infringing and coming into the square. Kernahan looking for Silvani on a long lead and gets him. Good mark by Silvani. Diving mark. 50 metres out. This circle to Carlton's at the 50-yard mark line at Princes Park, not 50 metres, so he's a bit closer in.
Thought Carlton might have played a more mobile player on Gary Ayres, but they've elected to go with Silvani. If he puts this through, well, they'll be vindicated.
High drop punt, kicked it long and strong. Gee, it's a good kick. It's going to make it all right. It's a goal. Silvani kicks his first. It's 2-2 to 4-1, and he gave the first away to DeLulio, so he's been in both the goals for the Blues.
Intelligent play there from Stephen Silvani. Player come back after a bad year with injury last year, but he wasn't going to make the distance with his normal kicking strength, so he put it up into the jet stream and let the wind do a bit of the job. He kicked it very high, Peter.
Into the jet stream, Gerard, as it's tapped down.
It was a high kick, wasn't it?
And it will be a penalty kick in the centre for a high tackle. There's a Carlton player down too. We'll pick him up in a moment. This is Marcus Seary in towards full forward. Langford and Caverton. Thumped down by Langford. Backup support from Ayres. Here's Jenke, a greatly improved player. Tremendous balance, Jenke. An ordinary kick for him to the half-forward line. No mark. The umpires paid the mark in the finish to Sexton.
Yeah, that was Craig Bradley on the ground, but the trainers have come out to him, but he's up and running and appears to be okay.
Michael Sexton to the half-forward line. Spalding and Madigan. Over the back is Collins, always mopping up. Now Pritchard. The chip passes on. Oh, Greg Deere, backup support from Ben Allen. Goes to Deere again. Back to Allen. Messing around with a little bit, but the kick into Tony Hall, running back with the flight. Hannah with him. Jarman, the dangerous Jarman. Let's see what he can do here, Jarman. He's got 2 to beat. Hall is there also, and eventually it's forced over the line. And in fact, it was Dean Anderson right on the line coming into lender hand as well.
Kernahan on the ball against Paul Deere, the Norm Smith medalist from last year. Here's Kernahan. Good kick to Holt. He's got a panic. Can run it all the way. Another very good kick to Caverton. Gave him a chance. Langford played it well. DeLulio tried to rob it. Played Langford off the ground. Only as far as Hawthorn. Too slow. No reflex there. Here's Hudson. Switches it sideways to Gowers, who cleverly, because he was going to be besieged, kicks it away towards the boundary line. Hawthorn and Gowers having a go behind, and it'll be a throw-in. Gee, Langford did it well, because the kick to Caverton was excellent.
Yes, it was a great spoil from behind. Caverton had the set spot, and he punched his hand away, as I was alluding to before.
This is a good move, putting Kernahan on the ball too.
Yeah, get him up into the game.
That's dead right, really. Gerard, because Langford over the years has had the wood on him too. There's a hurried kick to the half-forward line. Hall versus Hannah's a good battle. And over the line it goes at half-forward for the Hawks.
I don't think you'll see him play there all day though, Peter. I think Caverton's their best option, but to get him up and running and break that tag that Langford had on him is a good move.
Another throw in at half-forward, punched away by Sexton, was a good one to Scholl. Scholl, the long kick to the half-forward line. Jenke back with the flight. He's got a very balanced player, Jenke. Going back to Morrissey, and Morrissey runs over the line with the ball.
It's a good matchup, Brett Scholl with Andrew Gowers. Both are very tall for wingmen, over 6'1". And you can work that out in the centimetres for yourself, but exceptionally tall, and a big advantage to both sides, having those tall wingmen.
Bradley with Platten in pursuit. Scholl caught. Morrissey, quick giveaway. McDonald, Hudson looks for Dunstall. Good kick. Dunstall takes off early, holds his position and takes the mark.
That is just sensational team play, isn't it, Gerard?
Yes, well, the pass there from Hudson was just fantastic. Pinpoint passes. Was a football, a full forward's dream come true. Dunstall with 3 goals. Well, this man could do anything this year.
Well, he kicked 138 and 132 back in the late 80s, and he's on the way already this year. Another good kick by Dunstall. Just missing, hitting the post. So behind at 4-2 to 2-2. He had 16 shots at goal last week, or 16 scoring shots, and he's had 4 already. Kernahan short to Hannah.
Hannah looking for an option. He had to go back, and could be costly, but it's David Kernahan again. Oh, he's found Scholl, because the Hawthorn player Morrissey slipped over. Now Scholl, Matthew Hogg dodges. Now we'll kick it to the pocket. The leader's on by Caverton. That's a good lead. And Caverton is marked 45 metres from goal.
Well, excellent play from Carlton. It looked a little bit suspect early when Hannah handballed back to Kernahan up the middle, but they played the corridor very well on that occasion, and I'm sure that Parkin has stressed that. Last week they went too wide up at Carrara, and today we see them going down the middle.
Andrew Cavidan, the Blues could really do with a goal here as he brings it in. Not a bad looking kick. Did it go to the right or a goal? It's a goal. So a good goal to Andrew Cavidan as the Blues kick their third, and they now only trail by 6 points.
Yes, well, that goal had its origin from the kick out, and we can see in today's football that the ball can go from one end of the ground to the other in a matter of seconds, and that's why it's important to keep manning up at kick-ins. A beautiful kick from Matthew Hogg too to set Cavidan up for that goal.
Blues within a goal with 7.5 minutes remaining. Kernahan and Greg Deere. Here's Darren Jarman out of the centre. Paul Deere over the top of him, Sexton. And Hawthorn and Paul Deere again. So bounce down, half forward. Hawthorn attacking. Kernahan doing the ruck work and doing a pretty good job. Snared though by Anderson, taken off him by Bradley. Quick kick away. Jenke slipped over. Scholl well played. Now caught by Jarman. Just took that stride too long.
Just a lack of vision there and lack of awareness from Scholl.
Allen misses it. Taken by Alvin. Squeezes around the corner. A little lucky. DeLulio attacks towards Silvani versus Ayres. Here's Silvani. It should sit up. He should score. Stevens sets himself. Tries a check side and does it very badly. It was a poor effort by somebody who's so skilled.
Yes, well, I think you described it perfectly, Bruce. He did try the check side, or the banana kick as we sometimes call it, but he got it on the wrong side of the boot, and very ordinary in the end.
Well, he didn't really need to. Well played, Bradley. Clever, left foot, across the face. Silvani can make amends, and he does. Got rid of Ayres cleverly and took a very good mark.
An intelligent kick from Bradley. This player is very good thinking. He could see that Silvani was one out in the square against Ayres. Not only did he put it up in the air, which Silvani will have an advantage, but he kicked it over the head of both players. Silvani was at the back of the pack, so he had the advantage.
Well, it's the best recipe in sport, isn't it? To be able to instantly bounce back and kick a goal. And he does. Scores a level at Princes Park. Big smile for Stephen, and why not at 4-2 apiece. He's kicked his second.
Yes, and I think the smile may well have been because that ball might have just snuck in for a goal. He was only from point-blank range.
Very close, I think.
Just got in by a couple of inches, and we see a change now here. Ray Jenke has gone on to Stephen Silvani, a more mobile player. We thought that originally that may have been a problem with that matchup. Silvani a little bit too mobile for Ayres.
Interesting, Peter, that since Kernahan's been on the ball, Carlton are 5.
Great move, that. And Gary Ayres is on his own down in defence at the moment, hasn't got a man. Now he'll come from behind here, Ayres. Thumps at the ground, Silvani. Oh, good play, Steve Silvani. Tries to get in a hand pass and does so. Jenke after the ball. Very rarely falls over, but on that occasion he did, and the ball was forced over the line. But a good effort by the Blues to get back into this game when Hawthorn looked like running right away from it.
Well, I think it's a great coaching move from Joyce to have Gary Ayres as a loose man. It's obviously Carlton at the moment, with only 3 or 4 minutes to go, have got a run on. So playing that loose man is very, very good coaching and a great awareness.
Well, that was Morrissey getting it around to Gowers. I would think it's a 2 or 3 goal breeze to the left, the end that Carlton has got. They're kicking a long way to that end. Gowers to the half-forward line, Alvin and Jarman. Jarman waits back, Alvin in after it. It's shuffled out, Paul Deere traps it. Goes for the long kick in towards half-forward. Hogg back with the flight of the ball, has Mark. This is Matthew Hogg. The short pass, oh, dangerous, but it came off to Sexton. Michael Sexton, a good honest player. Now from half-back, good long kick. Madigan underneath it. He's got backup support from Ayres, who, Gary Ayres has slipped over at the vital moment. Bradley, the chip passes on. He's looking for Marcus Siri, who overruns it. Now it's Morrissey, the soccer kick off the ground to the centre of the ground. Players race after another soccer by Gleeson. Now it's Platten. He's got a couple with him. Pritchard. Now Platten again. Pritchard goes in to lend a hand. Jarman brilliantly picks it up. Tommy Alvin Back to Kernahan. The leader's on. Kernahan to half forward. But the mark is dropped down there by Madigan as players pouncing on top of it, and it'll be a bounce.
Yes, I thought Carlton could have done more of that opportunity with Bradley streaming into the forward line. He centred the ball to Arsiri, but Arsiri was flat-footed. He put his hand up for the lead, and poor play from Arsiri.
Well, he's in the picture again, Arsiri, on the bottom of the pack, trying to get rid of it.
I think if a player puts his hand up and nominates himself, the player with the ball is under pressure, and he can't decide one way or the other at times. And Arsiri should have been attacking the ball. Would have marked it on his chest if he had done so.
Caverton cleverly at the back. Langford taps it to Ayres on his left side. Gets some distance. McDonald, good mark. Under extreme pressure from Dean. Goes inside. Gowers goes back to McDonald, to Greg Deere. They set it up again, Hawthorn. Run it through centre wing. That chip pass has been cut off though, and Ratton takes the mark at half back.
Yeah, poor kick that by Greg Deere. Ratton to the half forward line. Caverton moving well, and a good mark. A very strong mark, way out at half forward. Now a goal before quarter time. Well, a couple of goals with this breeze would be handy to the Blues. A nice kick too. Punched around by Silvani. Chance for Delulio. Round the corner. He goes smothered by Jenke. Was good play. Brown was grabbed when he didn't have it. Could have been a free kick. Now he lays on it. And it would be a bounce. Could maybe have been a free kick to Fraser Brown.
Yes, there was a little bit there. I thought actually the one to Silvani previously was there. He was being infringed by his opponent.
Sporting to do the work with Deere. Sporting cop one high, but here's Ayres out at centre half back with a high one. Kernahan at the back after Hannah and Hall had a wrestling match. Dean, a little one on the up to Hawthorn, who squeezes it to Shoal. He's going to see no Carlton players in front of him except Bradley. He did it well to get rid of Gowers and then centre it. Spalding the target, or couldn't hold it, or did he? Earl will claim it, not given. Here's Ayres, who's resurrecting this first term for himself. To Jarman, he'll do something reasonably clever. Gets it over to McDonald, who half volleyed it well, and not a good kick. Kernahan should take it easily.
Yeah, poor play from McDonald. He had two options running past, one of them Collins, the other Pritchard, and that would have been the better option and better play. Hawthorn would still have the ball.
Arsiri to Ratton, Ratton to half forward. Again, not a good kick. Morrissey and Collins can take a pick, and they do. And Collins takes the mark. A former champion at Hawthorn a couple of years ago. Squeezes it to Tony Hall.
Tony Hall at centre wing. Scoreboard 4-2 apiece. Terrific effort by Carlton to come back. Paul Deere ducks the head. Platten taps it on. Good play, Platten. He's got two to beat though. Hannah, will he go to the line? No, he won't. Hand pass, a sweeping hand pass looking for Ratton. He gets in another hand pass. Asiri did that very, very well. On to Hogg. Hogg into that hole at half forward. Silvani marks. So this is good play by the Blues.
Yes, well, there's only 42 seconds to go, and so this would be a vital goal for Carlton if they can sneak it through before quarter time. I wonder if Silvani will do the same thing, kick the ball very high and allow the wind to sweep it through the goal.
Stephen Silvani has kicked 2 goals. He had Gary Ayres moved off him. Ray Jenke has now picked him up.
I like the way that Carlton once again brought that ball back from wide out in the back pocket up the middle of the ground. It's a short ground, Princess Park, and the best way to go is down the middle.
Steve Silvani to put Carlton in front. A shocking kick off the side of the boot. The out come the Hawk defenders. Punched the ground, and there's the siren to end. A very, very entertaining first quarter here at Princess Park. Scoreboard at quarter time, dead set level, 4 goals, 2 apiece.
Term at Princess Park, scores level. Carlton kicking to the right. They had the breeze in the first term, but they did come back because Hawthorn led 4-1. Here's Platten out of the centre. Hawthorn, who looks as if he's loose in defence. To Hannah. Had a good term on Hall in the opening one. To Bradley, who had 8 possessions in the first quarter. Left foot. Silvani. And also Kernahan, who will look for a free kick. Advantage paid, and Silvani kicks his 3rd. Blues in front, 5-2, 4-2.
one gets the feeling that something might be cooking for the boys in blue here at Princess Park today, because they are attacking the ball with a great deal of confidence, and their good players are, whilst they're not dominating, are up and running. Kernahan's got back into the game late in the first quarter. Bradley's on top of Allen in the middle, and Silvani, one of their real heroes here at Princess Park, has kicked 3 goals. So a good start for the Blues in this quarter.
Back to the centre, Cavidan, a big thump, Morrissey from behind. Hudson has been well covered. Bradley again. Good play by Bradley, gets it to the half-forward line. Mopping up as usual is Andrew Collins, trying to tap it onto Ayres, who almost threw it away. Umpire calls play on. Asiri to Silvani. Socket off the ground by Greg Deere. Here's a chance for Spalding. Around the corner he goes on the left foot. Collins thrown off the ball. There'll be a free kick to Collins when he didn't have the ball. So penalty kick to the gutsy little back pocket player. But they're under a little bit of pressure, Hawthorn. The Blues lead by 6 points. A spirited comeback, because Hawthorn early in the first quarter looked really like getting well on top.
To half-back, Spalding at the back of the pack. Allen's handball to Platten was a good one. Awkward kick by Platten. Didn't give his forwards much of a run of it, but it's gone all the way to Gowers, deep in the centre square off the ground. Jarman can feel where Cavidan is. Gowers is going to help out. Jarman to keep it in play. Gee, picked it up well. Still Jarman. Gives it away in a hurry, and this time to Scholl, an opponent, and he runs it out of play. But Hawthorn have got it deep into the pocket.
Yes, well, it hasn't been Hawthorn's way up forward. Ball's being well held by Milan Hanna. And Hudson is being picked up by Hawthorn, who came from Sydney in the draft this year.
Jarman snared it off Alvin and then caught him a bit high, but no free kick. Well, they've kicked the last 4 goals in the game, Carlton. They've done a very good job after being 3 goals behind halfway through the first term with the breeze.
Cavidan versus Paul Deere. Deere tries to grab it out of the ruck. He does so. No one to give it to. Now he does. Anderson back to Platten. Platten hooks it back in front of goal. Dunstall will fly from behind, but it's thumped through by Sexton. And good thinking by the defender as he puts it over and through for a behind. 4-3 plays 5-2. So 5 points the margin. David Kernahan, a big job today on Dunstall.
Carlton are grouping up at centre half forward, playing the huddle as they call it in league terms. Everybody running laterally to the wings and the flanks, looking to create options.
Dunstall, Paul Deere in. Oh, the thump away favours McDonald. He traps it from 30 metres. Alex McDonald kicks it a goal and kicks a beautiful goal. That's his first, Alex McDonald, and the Hawks lead by a point.
Well, that goal came from nowhere. It was a punch back from the kick out, and McDonald swooped on it. At one stage, he appeared to be waiting for Dunstall to lead, but put his head down and kicked a marvellous goal from about 40 metres, kept it low, and the ball just swung in nicely with the assistance of the breeze.
Hawthorn by a point, 33-32. Greg Deere and Cavidan. Ben Allen out of the centre, left foot to centre half forward. Hawthorn in the front spot, taken by Paul Deere, who's so very strong. Swings onto his left foot, hooks it back. Good kick. First one for Deere. 2 outstanding goals within 30 seconds, and Hawthorn suddenly 7 points in front.
Yes, that's the strength of Hawthorn. They've got so many talented players, it's difficult to keep them down for too long at all, and all of a sudden this game has swung where once a couple of minutes ago it looked like Carlton was in control. 2 quick goals to Hawthorn. That one, a fine goal to Deere, has put the favour back in Hawthorn's way.
Back to the centre, Cavidan and Deere. Deere's been quite good in the centre bounces. How the umpires see this. They're not paying many holding the ball decisions here. They're bouncing it a lot. And I can notice Ron DeLilio, with a recruit from Box Hill, he's way down on the wing, and Gary Ayres is picking him up, so they're leaving the forward line fairly open, Carlton. Here's Gowers and Platten. Platten can get onto the right foot here from 55 metres. He fires in a goal. This might swing in. No, wrong side of the post. So a behind to the Hawks. They move their score under 6-4. Carlton remain 5-2. So the margin 8 points.
John Platten is getting away from Matthew Hogg a little bit. He's had over 8 possessions now. which at that rate is pretty good for the day. I'd be thinking that Carlton will be a little bit worried and may try Hawthorn on Platten.
David Kernahan gouge at the back of Caverton. Anderson, but it'll beat them all and be a throw-in. So the Hawks attacking strongly here after Silvani kicked his third goal and the first goal of the term to give the Blues a 6-point break, but the Hawks have come back strongly. Paul Deere, who's so very good in this situation. Hawthorn with Hudson and over the top Morrissey. He's very strong, Paul Deere. He's able to body his way into a winning position, and when he gets the football, it's very hard to get it off him. Saw that in the grand final against West Coast. Caverton with him this time. Scholl, Gleeson goes to ground. Probably looking for a free kick, but not there, and again a throw-in. So just a dull little patch here at half forward for Hawthorn.
So one of Paul Deere's other great assets is he can go into the ruck at boundary throw-ins, which allows his brother Greg Deere to play a kick behind to play.
Hudson missed it, and there's Gleeson to centre wing.
Over the back is DeLulio. Ayres went in very, very hard. Here's the dangerous Bradley. Should have picked it up. Probably didn't realise he had more time than he did. Silvani straight to Greg Deere. Greg Deere can't get his boot to it. Here's a chance for Spalding on the left foot. Off the side of the boot. Collins versus Asiri. Kernahan's there also. Now a chance for Kernahan. Bang into an open goal for a goal. So a handy that one to the captain. That's his first, and the Hawks only lead now by 2 points.
Yes, well, that was the Earl Spalding special. The glorious mongrel punt up in the air it went. And Kernahan from behind, very strong overhead. Didn't mark it on that occasion, but brought the ball to ground to his advantage, and he kicked a low scrubber through the goals. Thought he might have even handballed it to Asiri, but elected to kick himself.
Excellent game at the park, 38-40. Caverton with the tap to Alvin. Not a clear kick out of the centre. Spalding, Madigan hanging on. No free kick. G. Anderson, yes, in danger against Alvin. Nearly took his head off.
Yes, well, I think last week we saw Asiri cop a very bad kick to the face, and I think that the umpires would have been told to buckle down on these indiscriminate kicks into the packs.
Get some distance. Hall ran underneath it. Jarman and Ratton and Hannah. Still Jarman who get a free kick. No. Yes, he will. It was a big performance by Jarman. A little bit in it though, and he was held.
Yes, well, I thought that was poor play from Milan Hannah. He held on to him okay. The umpire wasn't going to pay, but he maintained the grip on the jumper, and he was left with no other option, the umpire, than to give Darren Jarman the easy shot at goal.
Kicked 41 goals last year. So he's a goal-kicking centreman, half-forward, forward pocket player. Loves them on the run from a long way out. Drop punt. Hits a post. And gives it a big wobble there. So 1-1 to Jarman. And can't believe it. But it's 6-5 to 6-2.
Well, that's 2 posters for Hawthorn now. Jason Dunstall hit the post in the first quarter. And they can be costly.
Well, the kick in by David Kernahan to the half-back line. Dean was the flyer. Gleeson waits down. That was good play. Got backup support here by Hawthorn. Hawthorn to half-forward. Collins playing in front. He's got backup support from Langford. But the umpire will come in and bounce it. At half-forward for the Blues.
Well, I like the way the Carlton have got their forward set up, Peter. I think Kernahan, I like him at full forward, but against Langford, I think he does better at full forward. And having DeLulio play up on the wing, it means Gary Ayres is away from the position he loves best, which is the pocket. And clubs think that they can get an advantage by getting Ayres away from the goal square.
Well, this is Gleeson. He's probably looking for a short one here, for someone to come in into the centre forward area. Now he's going long. Kernahan at the back. The Hawk players punch at the ground. Here's DeLulio on the left foot. Fires in at goal, but he's hooked it and put it through for a behind.
Well, maybe that was just the point in case. DeLulio, more mobile than Ayres, can come up to the wing, then come down with a flight of play, thereby losing Ayres. If he had have put that goal through, well, the plan would have worked to a team.
Taken by Jarman after Langford's pass to centre wing. Hall with a fly. Fraser Brown, Hawthorn, who's done all right as a mop-upper, goes towards full forward. Mark taken by Jenke. Bradley over the top behind play. Jenke's handball inside, missed by Allen. Or Dean should have taken it. just took his eye off it at the last moment. DeLulio with a little one out of Anderson's fingertips. Ball up. So just a mistake there by Dean. Lack concentration in the end.
Yeah, I think he had it spent before he got it. He was looking to give the handball away, but didn't take possession of the ball.
Sorry, Jerry, a couple of bad mistakes there, actually.
Well, the pressure's pretty tight at the moment. This game is still in the balance.
Pritchard to Anderson, the quick kick. Tony Hall. Oh, good mark. I didn't think he was going to get there. Now he can give it to Jarman. That's clever. That is very clever. Jarman sprints into an open goal, slams it through. Sensational play, Hall. So Darren Jarman's kicked his second. The Hawks move on to 7-5. Carlton 6-3.
Yes, well, Tony Hall's been well held by Milan Hanna, having only 2 kicks and 1 handball in the first couple of quarters, or quarter and a bit. But on that occasion, his class came out. Great vision. He saw Jarman running down the forward line and kicked the goal.
Jarman got that original ball in the back pocket, remember, Gerard?
Yes, it's much more hard-working Jarman this year, I think.
47-39. Greg Deere giving away a free kick to Caverton. Jumping into him. So can the Blues hang on here for the remainder of this term? They've got to stay close to Hawthorn. They've worked very hard, but the Hawks still with 16 minutes with the breeze at their back. Stephen Kernahan and Langford. Oh, Silvani, an excellent mark. Whilst Kernahan and Langford were having a wrestle, Silvani with a fly at the side. It's kick 3, Silvani.
Yes, well, that was classic Stephen Silvani. He'll be growing with confidence with every game he plays after a bad knee injury last year. And the 2-pronged attack of Kernahan and this man is quite effective at the minute.
Testing kick for him from 35-40 metres out. He's kicked it strong and long and straight through. 4 to Silvani. It's 7-3 to 7-5.
Silvani hasn't looked all that confident when having set shots at goal. In the first quarter, he had a couple of ones that weren't that flash, but on that occasion, he went back and drilled that ball. And despite the fact that the wind is going from right to left on screen, he would have been kicking into and probably should have been kicking the wind. It is sheltered there by the grandstand somewhat, so it would have been a fairly straightforward shot.
Greg Deere, well, they're both going early. Deere eventually gets it straight to Bradley. Madigan waits. He should have gone at it, Madigan, and allows Silvani in. Assyri an open goal coming up, and Mark Assyri slams it through, and the Blues hit the front. That was great play, and Silvani is on fire. Mark Assyri kicks his first, and Carlton lead by 4 points.
Well, that was just a great passage of play from Carlton. Bradley initially out of the centre, and he's doing well in the middle. Whipped that ball out to Silvani, who's having a purple patch, took a great mark, and then quickly whipped the ball out to Arcieri, who finished off with a beautiful goal on the run.
51-47. The Blues lead by 4 points. Greg Gear gets it. Platten looked for a free kick. Gowers cleverly to the space. Good take though by Fraser Brown, then off the ground. No, Matthew Hoggett was. Tumped forward by Gowers. Morrissey misses it. Hawthorn and Ratton. Now Ratton took a chance, did it well to Hanna. They're growing in confidence, the Blues. Spurred on by a big crowd. Centre wing, Bradley and Allen. Bradley had an excellent first quarter. This is what he loves to do, to run. Second bounce, can go all the way. He's a thumping kick. Silvani the target. And Kernahan in the back against Langford, not paid. Play on, call, a chance for Gleeson. He's goal. The Blues go further ahead. Gleeson's kicked his first, and Carlton on fire at 9-3 to 7-5. Gee, it's good footy, isn't it?
Well, this really is a wonderful game. The lead swinging to and fro, and Carlton at the moment are just on the burst. They've kicked 3 quick goals, and once again that man Bradley, in his 5 years at Carlton, he hasn't finished lower than 3rd in the best and fairest, and has won it on 2 occasions. He's missed only 5 games in that period. What a champion that bloke is.
Back to the centre. Deere versus Caverton. Darren Jarman. Gowers. The long kick into the half-forward line. Paul Deere races at it. Hudson, we haven't seen much of him so far. As the Carlton player lies over the ball. They're not playing that today, Gerard.
No, you have to earn your free kicks, and you mentioned Hudson. He's been well held by Hawthorn. He's been a bit of a surprise pickup by Carlton, but doing the job for them at the moment.
Well, it's at half forward. Here's Hudson punching on Morrissey, trying to get in a hand pass. Ratton. Now it's Hawthorn. Breaks away and smothering it beautifully with Paul Deere at half forward. But there's a good effort by the Blues. Can they keep it up? Because it's usually at this stage that Hawthorn are able to produce something else.
Yes, when really pressured, the Hawks normally respond. Hawthorn, good handball to Arceri, has been very busy. To Dean, gets around Jarman. Not a good handball though by Dean, very poor. Greg Deere on his left foot, missed by Morrissey. It was a tough one. Here's Paul Deere. He's caught by Dean, who tried to mop up. Taken by Hudson. The tackle was good. They're letting it go, the umpires. Left foot by McDonald. Gowers and Scholl wait for it. Morrissey goes to ground. Gary Ayres. DeLulio off the ground. Gowers to chase it with him. It'll beat them both out of play. But the spirit from Carlton is the important thing, and they're showing plenty of it at the moment.
Well, I'm impressed with Ron DeLulio. He's already kicked a goal. Recruited from Box Hill from the VFA, and along with Paul McCormack, have been very impressive in their debuts for Carlton.
Pritchard, half forward, looks. Dunstall's the target. It's a good kick. Anderson chips in. Dunstall probably would have taken it, and Anderson's going to go back and take a shot for goal.
Well, I would have thought Anderson would have whipped the left-hand handball to Tony Hall, who's in the goal square at the moment. He would have run into an open goal, but went back for the shot.
Well, he should have, Jared, because he's kicked that very badly, out of bounds on the full, and Carlton, things are going all right for them at the moment.
Well, Hawthorn have just interchanged Greg Deere for Jason Taylor, who played his first game for Hawthorn last week. He comes onto the ball.
Ball at half forward for Hawthorn. Ben Allen couldn't break clear. Oh, Carlton going in very hard. Marcus Siri over the top. Oh, they're still going in hard. Good play to Spalding. Spalding the quick kick to the half-forward line. Gary Ayres back with the flight. He ran hard at the ball. A 20-metre hand pass to Pritchard. This is where they're dangerous, the Hawks. Pritchard getting round Spalding. Will have a bounce. Where's Dunstall? There's the lead out to the pocket. Dunstall goes back, and was he pushed in the back? No. Umpire calls play on. Hannah gets it back to Hawthorn. Danger here because Jarman, no, Sexton beats him to it, gives in a hand pass to Alvin, and the Blues are off and running. This is Spalding at centre wing. Not sure what to do with it. Was pressured by three Hawthorn players. Spalding again in after it. Now it's Gleeson brought to ground, caught too high. Umpire calls play on as it's taken by the brilliant Bradley. Bradley over the top. Here's a chance for Alvin from 40 metres. Into goal, Silvani has dropped it. He should have marked that ball. It was a sitter in the goal square. Well, he'll kick himself for that one.
I wonder if it was going through for a goal anyway. It was going to be close, Jared.
Oh, I think he had to attempt a mark. It would have definitely been close, but even he couldn't believe he dropped that one. Great build-up to that goal.
Ben Allen to centre wing. McDonald. Dean, who could have got a free kick, I reckon. He was interfered with from behind, but not paid. The Hawks to full forward. Dunstall the target. Ran underneath it. Hawthorn. Scholl. Oh, great tackle by Hall. Play on called. Some strength wanted here for Carlton. Sexton provides it. The pocket. Anderson. It's still in the pocket and in play. And it'll be a ball up. Well, they've held it up, Carlton. Gee, Spalding, Jared, made a couple of school errors, didn't he, on the centre wing when they really needed some clean play.
Yes, I just thought he might have lacked a little bit of support, but definitely let down with the lack of a left foot kick.
Morrissey cleverly. Tony Hall, left foot snap, misses. It's a behind. 7-6-9-4.
Silvani now has his third opponent, one of your favourite players, Peter, Greg Madigan, a young player coming through. I think you might have coached him in the old days.
To Marsland College. Well, both those players went to that great football school, Marsland College, Silvani and Madigan. Madigan was a great high jumper. Could jump 6'8". Is punched away by Gowers to the half-back line, and it beats Peter Dean over the line. But a good game of football this. Carlton really serving it up to the Hawks. They lead by 10 points. If they could go in at half-time with the lead, it would be a big turn up for the books as the ball is thumped back to the line. Be another throw in halfway between centre wing and half forward.
It's amazing how the momentum swings in a game, and perhaps that mark of Silvani's, there's a bit of a flat spot now, may just indicate that it's time for a change and Hawthorn might get back on top.
Well, it's a loose ball. Ayres tries to crash his way through the pack. Gleeson did it well. Threw it away off the ground by Platten. Tony Hall runs hard at it. And also did Sexton, and Sexton sockers it off the ground and over the line.
Well, he's been a good player today, Sexton, no question about that. He's run straight and he's run hard and he's done some very good stopping work.
Kernahan now back onto the ball.
58-48, and Taylor got rid of him. Gives Dunstall some sort of a hope. Sexton and David Kernahan, the twin attack. Paul Hudson takes it, caught. Great tackle, snapped by Pritchard. Sexton should take it, and he does. Gleeson will want it, and he'll squeeze it out to David Kernahan. Now Darren Jarman's going to come in from the side. Kernahan goes to ground, a good handball needed. Goes towards Alvin, and Hawthorn got out of that cheaply, I thought, because Carlton had the numbers, and it was just lack of skill by Sexton. He should have found the body and found the space and put Kernahan under a bit of pressure. Stephen Kernahan out of position. Morrissey, free kick will go to Kernahan.
Yeah, shepherding in the ruck there from Hawthorn. Kernahan gets an easy free kick, but such is the importance of Dunstall that Carlton playing a loose man Sexton down on the forward line, two teaming him.
Langford, long way out. Here's Jenke, tucks it under the arm and goes for a bounce. Runs laterally and then kicks it inside to centre half forward. Here's Dunstall for his fourth. Left foot round the body, misses a behind. So 7-7 to 9-4, and Carlton continuing to hang on here.
It's a vital couple of minutes coming up. 7 minutes, in fact, of play left in this quarter, and a vital 7 minutes. Carlton really have to hang on here. Not let Hawthorn kick 2 or 3 quick ones before half time. Here's Pritchard versus Spalding. Pritchard harassing Spalding was good play. Now he gets it to Taylor. Now Jenke. Over the top is Anderson. He can run in and have a shot for goal from 50 metres. Dean Anderson kicks and misses to the right. So
well,
they're missing a few.
Well, you said he could have run in, Peter. He could well have done that. He could have run another 20 metres closer to goal, but elected to kick from outside 50 and missed.
Notice here, Jared, what Hawthorn have been doing in the kickouts. Have had
zone
players,
defence.
Yeah, the zone defence with people at half back and in the back pocket, just stopping the huddle and being able to break away to the flanks. Stephen Kernahan the target. Brett Scholl takes it in the front.
Yes, well, there's 2 ways of counteracting it. One is to go man on man, which I don't like. I think the zone defence is the best way to go, but it does often leave you vacant up the middle of the ground, and that's why Carlton tried to expose that with Spalding last time.
Well, Scholl didn't do that particularly well. Straight to Jarman to Ayres. Ayres will squeeze it to Anderson.
Well, this is a vital period of time for Carlton. They must hold on here.
Good kick towards Hudson. Aythorn hassled him out of it as he's done most of the day.
Well, it should have been a free kick to Hudson, actually. He had his arms pinned as he went for that mark. At half forward is Taylor. Oh, Hannah did the ruck work over the back. Dangerous Morrissey. Oh, well done. Jarman on the left foot. Slams at goal and has missed. So the Hawks blazing away and missing. So they're letting Carlton off the hook a little bit here. 7-9. Plays 9-4. This is David Kernahan. Hawthorn have it covered everywhere here for this kick in. He's looking now. He's got to bring it. Oh, bad play. He was forced into that because Hawthorn had every option covered. So he was looking for the short option and he messed it up, Jared.
Yes, he did. He was in 2 minds. What he should have done once there isn't a free man and you're forced into having a kick, you've got to go for the ruckman and go for the long kick. That was poor play from Kernahan.
Hudson's first goal, if he kicks it, he's missed. So they're really letting Carlton breathe again here because they've had plenty of shots in this last couple of minutes. 7-10 to 9-4. The Blues lead by a goal.
Well, David Kernahan gets another chance, just like Silvani did in the first quarter, to kick a goal. This one just to kick it in. Scholl at the back again. Spalding unable to take it. Deer's handball gives Allen a chance. He runs away from Ratton, then hooks it back high. It should be Dean's mark. It is. Kernahan outside of him. He should kick it to Ratton. Goes longer and doesn't kick it particularly well.
Well, that's poor play from David Kernahan. The shorter option in Ratton, who was free. He elected to kick it long to Kavanagh, who actually had 2 men on him. So I don't know what he was thinking there, but it was very ordinary.
Tony Hall in the front spot. Here's Hannah, who's had a good game. Very good handball to Alvin, to Fraser Brown, to the pocket, to the space. Silvani, who's been a star in this first half. And Madigan, his third opponent, runs it over the line. So a goal to Carlton here against the flow would really hurt Hawthorn, I feel, because they've had chances to hit the front again, the Hawks, and they haven't done it. Kernahan versus Deer, bit of strength there. Jenke over the top, looking for Pritchard. Brown runs into the pocket, caught, swings a handball back cleverly to Gleeson, who sat and waited. Kernahan couldn't take it, gets a second bite. Again, a good tackle by Paul Deer, who rides him right into the ground. Kavanagh and Darren Jarman. Darren Jarman looks for a free kick, a ball up.
See, they've thrown that rule out the book, holding the ball, haven't they? You're allowed to dive on it today, Gerard. There's been about 5 or 6, hasn't there? Yes,
it's difficult to know which way the umpires are interpreting it. I think they've been a bit lenient on the throw too. I've seen a couple that would certainly have been a throw.
Well, here's Silvani with a chance versus Madigan. Silvani, goal! Great goal! 5 goals, Steve Silvani. And what a handy one to the Blues. 64 plays 52, 2 goals the margin.
Yes, well, I thought that Greg Madigan could have done a little bit better on that occasion. Silvani didn't have really a great deal of time, but Madigan allowed him to get boot to ball, and such is the class of the player that he could swing it back on the required angle. Another great goal to Silvani.
10-4, 7-10, stirring stuff here by the Blues at Princes Park. Shades of the old days. Hawthorn out of the centre, Jarman with a long one. Dunstall being held onto by Kernahan. Sexton left foot to the space. Anderson can run after it, but knowing Hawthorn's luck at the moment, will beat him out, and it did.
So I think Carlton, they look a little bit more mobile than Hawthorn at the moment. They've got a lot of good players, mid-sized players, doing a lot of running, and they're getting more players at the ball, and that's usually Hawthorn's caper, Peter.
It certainly is, Gerard. It's a good performance. They've done their homework, and they've been very well coached in this game by David Parkin.
Change at the back for Hawthorn, free kick to the Blues. I think the other thing is that they've been so aggressive on the ball, haven't they?
Well, that's the Carlton of '92 that they're hoping will. We saw it up in Brisbane last week with the Terminator Paul McCormack. He's destroyed a couple of blokes on his own, and we're seeing it again today.
Bradley, here's a chance. Which way will it bounce? Jarman waited for it. The Blues with another chance here. Great tackle by Collins, allows Ayres to come in after it. They got out of jail then, the Hawks. Ben Allen, the long kick to the half-forward line. There are 2. That's a free kick to Hawthorn. In the back, it'll come back to centre wing, and the Blues have to hang on here. This is Jason Taylor. He had 2 to beat then. He should be kicking long. Taylor, it is a long kick. Hudson and Dunstall. Hudson has got it. Brought to ground. Play on, calls the umpire. Hand pass was wide by Dunstall. Now Fraser Brown. The chip pass is on. Punch to ground. The Blues get it away through Gleeson. Collins waits for it. He loses it. Marcus Siri. Tackle on Siri. It'll be a free kick to Marcus Siri.
Well, great play from Michael Sexton there. Through his use of the body, the ball bounced free from Hawthorn, and we see Carlton in possession now.
Siri towards Kavanagh, outnumbered. Important ball because it's in the centre square. Taken by DeLilio. Silvani. It's kick 5. What a mark! Not paid. Yes, it's got to be. Well, it may have hit the ground.
I think it hit the ground, Bruce.
It looked a screamer, didn't it?
I'm pretty sure it hit the ground.
But I think he had his hands around it when the ball did hit the ground, Peter.
Gee, he doesn't like the decision. He's a very fair footballer, Silvani.
Well, I would have given him out in a cricket match. For mine, that was a mark.
Well, what a sensational effort. Stephen Kernahan there. Platten looks for a free kick off Bradley, not coming. And with 40 seconds remaining, Carlton are going to go in at half-time in front at least, because they lead by 2. There's no way the Hawks will kick 2 in 30 seconds. And if the Blues can kick another one, what a lift it'll give them. Deer goes against Kavanagh. Gleeson tried to take it. The captain takes it though for Hawthorn. Ayres to centre wing. Dean took a chance. Well played McDonald, but here's our series been very good. Cavanagh should take it. Sets himself, and in the end a lot of Hawthorn players. Gleeson switches it inside. Brown gives it to Hogg. Left foot towards the goal front. Not a lot of depth on it, and taken by Madigan in front of Silvani.
A poor kick from Hogg.
Siren will go now, and the Blues lead. Great first half. It's 10-4 to 7-10. Start of the second half at Princes Park. Carlton leading by 12 points. Silvani's kicked 5 of the 10 goals in the first half. Cavanagh goes early against Greg Deere. Alvin caught. And a bit lucky, in fact very lucky against Darren Jarman. Didn't look all that high, but he got the free kick. A high one. Stephen Kernahan sets himself. Chris Langford well played. Fraser Brown handballs in front of himself. He's going to be besieged. He's gone. Holding, well, again a high one. Well, that might have... No. Well, it was signalled as high.
Decision.
Well, he signalled as high, the umpire, and then gave it for holding the ball, which was probably the correct decision. Peter Dean's handball to the space. Or Bradley, it did sit for him nicely, but he took advantage and then torpedoes the ball to the goal square. Silvani against Madigan, Langford, and Stephen Kernahan was there. Langford's handball put Jenke under pressure. Spalding to try and kick a goal, and he just misses. 10-5, 7-10.
Yes, well, Earl Spalding could well have kicked that goal, only 15 metres out. He wasn't under a great deal of pressure, would have been just the start Carlton needed.
Collins receives from Langford. Oh, he's hooked it back and found Anderson. Dean Anderson has had a pretty quiet game. To half forward, Paul Deere marks on his chest. The first 5 minutes here vital. Carlton have to stick with Hawthorn. They've got a good little lead, a couple of goals lead. Pritchard from in front. Oh, dragged off the ball. Free kick to Pritchard. No doubt about that. So it'll be this is when Hawthorn are normally pretty good, when their backs are to the wall. Carlton have had a fantastic first half. Oh, there's that hole. And a good mark. There's that Jenke sneaking up to the pocket. Ray Jenke.
Well, Carlton had Cavan ducking back into the hole there, which forced Dunstall's lead to go out wide. Now, whilst Jenke's got the mark, it is on the boundary line and not a very high percentage shot at goal.
Well, Ray Jenke is a beautiful kick. He's looking for a short option. He's right in front of the Carlton Social Club, so they'll be giving him a bit of what-ho. Now he kicks from outside the line, a beautiful looking kick, slightly across the face. The Flyers are there. Gow has been one of them. The ball rebounds off his chest and hits the post, so it'll be a throw-in.
Blues leading 65 to 52. And they've got the breeze at their back. Cavanagh got the thump, but only as far as Hudson, who had a quiet first half. Paul Deere. Gowers with a snapshot. It's in towards Dunstall and Kernahan. Well played, Kernahan, and well taken, Cavanagh. Kicked it about 50 metres and runs another 25. Here's Pritchard. He's got a long time now to steady and wait and then kick it accurately, which he normally does. Hall versus Hannah. Gleeson waited for the last moment. Hannah's handball to Alvin. The pressure on Hawthorn off the ground. Bradley well played. Now caught by Allen. Again Gleeson. Well, he kicked that off the ground. It ended up a torpedo to centre half forward. Collins will have the numbers to back him up. Siri puts the pressure on. Spalding took his eye off it. Platten ridden into the ground, but it was a good tackle by Hogg. You reckon it was in the back, did you, Peter? Or holding the ball? Come on, Macca, which way?
Well, I thought he's ridden into the ground, your first call. Well, we saw there was a ticky touch with one to Alvin a moment ago. The ball at half forward for Carlton. Morrissey, who he held it a long time. Peter Dean in towards full forward. Silvani strong. Running back was Langford with pace. They might have to put Langford on Silvani. Here's Ayres. Now, which way will it sit? He picked it up beautifully, Gary Ayres. The chip pass. It's gone straight to Hannah. That was well played, Hannah. He read that beautifully.
Well, the Carlton forwards have done well by playing up the ground, separating the Hawthorn backmen. We know they like to play close, and we see Fraser Brown has been on his own for about 5 or 30 seconds, but Milhan Hannah ignoring the option.
Oh, shocking kick by Hannah too. Platten takes front position. Still going, Platten. On to Allen. Now Jarman. Back to Collins. Collins on the left foot wide. Paul Deere versus Sexton. Who's got the pace? Sexton's got the pace. And he's done a great job up there as he taps it over the line.
Well, Paul Deere kicked a miraculous goal in the second quarter, but he has been rather quiet today. He's only had 6 kicks, and Michael Sexton's done quite a good job on him.
Well, he's the man in question, Deere. Caverton over the top. Deere again, that's where his strength comes out, gets it to Platten and to the boundary line. Gee, what about Hannah a minute ago? Wasn't that ordinary football? I mean, you had Brown in the pocket waiting for it on his own and Spalding. He waited forever and then kicked that awful ball to Platten.
Yeah, poor vision. There was 30,000 people here yelling at him that Brown was free, but he was the only one in the stadium that didn't pick it up.
Hogg, a tough one. A free kick coming back to Carlton. So early days in the second half. Gleeson from half-back into the centre square. Spalding was his target. Jarman at the back, bangs it back towards the Tony Hall area, and he's always been able to take a good mark, and he does there against Hannah.
Yeah, well, great use of the body there from Tony Hall. We saw him back hard, bump Milan Hannah out of the way, who appears to have a problem with his eye, and just pure strength got Tony Hall that mark. Been pretty quiet, Milan Hannah on top. As we see, he's only had 4 possessions and needs this goal, as does Hawthorn.
Hall's drop punt. Missing.
Well, his kicking hasn't been all that good, actually, the last 18 months. It's all right from in closer, Bruce.
And the Hawks have wasted some chances, haven't they? It's 7-11 to 10-5.
Yes, they kicked 5 or 6 points in about 7 minutes at the end of the second quarter. The Carlton off the hook a little bit. Now, almost the centre of the ground, over the back. They're roving the packs well at the back of the pack, Hawthorn. There's Platten to the half-forward line. Hall again, thumped the ground. The loose ball comes to Gleeson. He's caught, gets in a hand pass. It was Hogg getting it on to DeLulio. The wrestle is on the mark. Wrong mark has been taken by Earl Spalding. Now he's playing on. Bradley marks in the pocket. But Carlton doing well.
Well, Craig Bradley received that mark from Spalding, but DeLulio went over the top to Spalding, and Bradley was 40 metres clear. Jumping up and down on the ground was Bradley, who's had a fine quarter, a fine half, and started well again this quarter.
Well, a vital kick coming up here. The margin is 12 points. This would stretch it to 3 goals and put a bit of pressure on the Premiers. Craig Bradley stabs. Looks good. No. Well, I thought by the reaction of the Hawthorn cheer squad, they didn't look too happy to have their Gerard.
I must have been nip and tuck it. Maybe just went over the post, Peter, and they weren't prepared to make a decision. Carlton must get a couple of goals with this win. I think they'd have to be 4 or 5 goals up at 3/4 time to be safe.
Langford, is there such a thing against Hawthorn? Safety. Into the centre square, Deere stretches high. Hudson, who's had a quiet one, finds a bit of space, kicks towards Tony Hall and Mill Hannah. Well played, Hannah, kept his eye on it and gets a free kick.
Well, let me say, be happy, Bruce. I think you're right. There wouldn't be such a thing, and 5 goals in today's football isn't insurmountable.
Centre wing, Gleeson and Caverton. Caverton whips it off Gleeson. Bradley calling for it long. Caverton's drop punt. Kernahan gets a run at Langford. That's unusual. Spalding from the side. Well, there's some marking power when you look at Kernahan, Spalding and Silvani on that forward line.
Yes, and Chris Langford just gave the umpire a great mouthful because he thought he was infringed upon.
Well,
in fact, Kernahan was right into his back.
It was a free kick to Langford. That was unbelievable.
Well, one got the feeling there that the umpire, because it was such a great mark, that he swung his decision. And Spalding, well, this is the danger for Carlton because, or one of their dangerous ploys, because Spalding and Kernahan together are too tall for most oppositions.
Well, can he kick straight, Spalding, from 45 metres out? It's not a bad attempt, it's straight through. 11-6, 7-11. Spalding has goaled his first, and the Blues have pinched a break.
Yes, well, Earl Spalding kicked 14 goals in 22 games for Melbourne last year. And he's never been renowned for his straight kicking, and even that one was a little bit of a floater. It wasn't very definite, but it got the required result, and Carlton kick away.
Well, 19 points the Blues lead by. Deer versus Caverton. Deer taps it down. They've got Gary Ayres in the middle. There's the ball, goes to ground. Oh, very. Well, the ball was dropped and then he was held, and it's a free kick to Scholl. Scholl to the half-forward line. Silvani's got a couple to beat. Madigan, handball over the top. Morrissey. Oh, falling over out there is Gowers. Let's Carlton in here. This is DeLilio. Ron DeLilio kicks out of bounds on the fall, so a wasted opportunity. But little things going Carlton's way at the moment. They're playing like a team inspired, and let's see if the mighty Hawks can come back.
Collins to centre wing. Paul Deer was the target. Sexton at the back. Arsiri versus Platten. No free kick given. Here's Ayres, who's gone into the centre to McDonald from centre wing. On his left foot, looks for Tony Hall. Hannah's been with him all day. Hall sits and waits and then scoops it up and gets away with it. Anderson caught. Still Anderson caught. Peter Dean. Bad handball. Smothered by Deer, who normally goals from these incredible situations. Not this time, but Dunstall takes one grab. David Kernahan will concede. Deliberately goes to the boundary line. Well, I think he probably tried to force it through for a behind, and it's gone out of bounds, so it's an interesting interpretation.
They don't pay it too often, do they?
Not near the goals.
Yeah, I was going to say, not there. Caverton and Deer. Deer just runs him under the ball. Caverton with it. He's tackle on him strong. Ratton's got to try and break a couple. Will it sit for Carlton? Here's Dean. Again, a very bad handball. He's made some mistakes. McDonald gets a free kick against Alvin. Well, you just can't miss the body under pressure like that, like Dean has.
No, Dean's had a pretty poor day, actually, and he's made some unforced errors that we don't usually come to see from Dean. He's usually an exceptional player. Carlton just changing their side around a little bit. Jenky's gone up onto the wing.
Hawthorn, you mean?
Good move,
Sorry,
that, Jared.
Hawthorn, yes, and Gowers, a tall player, comes down onto Spalding.
Very good move, because Jenky has played a lot on the wing over the years too.
Got a lot of dash and kick a goal from there. Ken McDonald goal from 40 metres out. The drop punt, the Hawks want it. And they've got it. 8-11, 11-6. McDonald scores his second.
Yes, it was a good goal from McDonald. He's taken a little bit of time to mature in his football. #1 draft choice in '89, and he's been given every opportunity by Alan Joyce to produce his best. Hawthorn definitely needed that goal, and under pressure, he performed.
Well, Kernahan still in the ruck. Greg Deer versus Steve Kernahan. Deer taps it down, but straight to Bradley. Bradley over the top. Here's Jenky and Scholl. Now it's DeLilio. Races in the goal, Ron DeLilio, and kicks a point. Gee, that would have been a handy one, Jared.
Yes, well, Ron DeLilio, he's an exciting player. He's got great amount of pace, but his right foot in the last two occasions has let him down. But once again, the Bradley streaking from the centre got Carlton into attack.
Langford, big fly there by Dean, but misses it. Here's Ayres and Morrissey to mop up for the Hawks. A sweeping handball from to McDonald with a bounce on his left foot now. Centres it. Hall and Hannah. Hannah played it beautifully. Here's Dean. It sits for him. Sexton under pressure. Scoops it out to Kernahan to centre wing. DeLilio at the back of Morrissey. Morrissey and DeLilio, who's hassling him. Free kick to Morrissey against DeLilio. DeLilio, the only teenager out there today. Morrissey's kicked a half forward. Hall with the run of it at the back, takes the mark. Not paid, play on. Deer's little kick smothered. It's a testing time now for the Blues. Platten tries to weave through, does, then runs, gone. No free kick coming back, and it's going to come back to McDonald, I think. So all that for nothing. 50 metres out McDonald. He's kicked 2 goals. Breeze has died here, no question about that.
Well, they're just starting to exert a little bit more pressure, the Hawks, aren't they?
Greg Deer, the target in the pocket, lumbers after it, then goes for goal and kicks it out of bounds on the fall. It's Carlton's, and get the feeling, Jared, the breeze has definitely dropped a little, and scoring at both ends pretty easy.
Yes, well, it's only, you wouldn't even say there was a goal advantage at the moment, particularly once the ball goes over the centre. At the members' end, there's a shoulder from the grandstand also, so goals can be kicked at either end.
Well, here are the high flyers. What a brilliant mark by Scholl.
Well, I've been impressed with Brett Scholl. He's come from North Melbourne and was captain of their under-19s a couple of years ago. And the 2 games I've seen him, he's been most impressive.
Well, there's the kick to the half-forward line. Ben Allen races back with the ball and quite happy to see it over the line. Well, something's got to give. Hawks trying to exert pressure. Carlton hanging on to that lead, 11-7 to 8-11, a top game of football.
Sporting and Greg Deere to do the ruck work. Deere favoured by the throw-in, gives it to Gowes, who couldn't take it. Here's Bradley. The handball, okay to Alvin. Left foot under pressure. Kavanagh versus Langford. Oh, good mark, Kavanagh. Geez, exciting, this young fellow.
Yes, I gave Andrew Kavanagh a vote for his performance in the ruck last week against the Bears, and once again today he's been a little bit less effective today, but still has been creating a few headaches for Hawthorn with his height.
Kavanagh from 20 metres as Morrissey comes off for Cooper. Drop punt, kicks it through. 12-7 to 8-11. Kavanagh's kicked 2 goals and the Blues stretch it out again to 20 points.
Yeah, well, once again a goal inspired by Craig Bradley, who whipped the ball out to Tom Alvin. Alvin was under a little bit of pressure and he kicked it high, and that's where Kavanagh is best served, and the ball's well above, and he was too tall for Chris Langford. Went back and kicked his 2nd goal.
Back with the vital centre bounce. Kernahan versus Greg Deere. Now someone has encroached. That's the 2nd time a Hawthorn player, and Alan Joyce will be fuming.
And it's the 4th straight getaway from the centre that Carlton have taken in the 3rd quarter.
Silvani versus Madigan. They did it well then, Madigan. Cooper gets rid of it. Galileo hooks it back towards half forward. Players set themselves for the mark. Langford is there. Now it's Andrew Collins racing back. Hand pass over the top. Good play by Collins. Very cool under pressure. This is Cooper. Oh, who's he kicked it to? Hudson waited for it, and that allowed Peter Dean to come in. Asiri. Could have been a free kick to Asiri. Hawthorn a bad hand pass. Fraser Brown. Hawk players everywhere. Hawthorn kicks, but it's a free kick in the meantime, going Carlton's way again, and this time it is at half forward Fraser Brown, I feel.
We could toss them both up there. They look pretty similar, Brown and Bradley.
Gee, if I was Carlton, I'd want Bradley to take it.
Yes, he's a great shot at goal. On the run and a set shot.
He should be able to make the distance from there. What a vital kick.
Well, it's danger times here for Hawthorn. Carlton 20 points in front, and they've really got a head of steam up.
Fraser Brown will kick from 50 metres and will bring the rafters down if he kicks this. A beautiful kick. Goal! So Fraser Brown kicks his first and the Blues kick clear. 13-7, plays 8-11.
Well, an excellent kick from outside of the 50-metre line from Fraser Brown to kick his first goal for the day.
(13-7, 8-11), 85 to 59. Remarkable scenes here at Princes Park as the Blues go forward. Kernahan gets it taken from Ayres. Off the ground by Darren Jarman. Ratton versus Anderson. Ratton off the ground towards the boundary line. Blue supporters applauding every movement at the moment, and handballs at 20 metres in their favour. They've kicked 12 out of the last 16 goals, Carlton, so that's the way they've dominated in the last hour of this match. They've been right on top, and they've got a substantial lead now at 26 points. Greg Deere takes it out. Brett Scholl, who's been very good, only as far as Platten. Tapped forward by McDonald. Kernahan has it taken off him, gets back on it with Ayres. Free kick going to Hawthorn, to their captain. And Ayres to take it from centre wing.
Gary Ayres very strong in physical contests, as it's shown then. Oh, beautiful kick too to the half forward. Oh, look at Hannah. Back on his own. Not good play, Tony Hall, to let Hannah go loose. Oh, dangerous play. Across goal. There were 2 Hawthorn players waiting for it. Collins is one. Oh, could have been a free to Collins. Bumped off the ball. Jarman in after it. Now Dunstall. Carlton player goes to ground. They're getting out of it well, the Blues. This is Kernahan, David Kernahan. Around the corner he goes. Langford at the back. thumps at the ground, but there's only one man there. It's Marcus Seary. And he finds his teammate in Gleeson. Gee, that was dangerous before. Greg Deere off. Taylor on for Hawthorn. As it comes to the half-forward line, over the back is Caverton. He gets his boot to it. Good play. He puts it out of bounds on the full.
They're just getting more players at the fall of the ball, Carlton. This is where they're getting the advantage over Hawthorn. We come to expect Hawthorn to play that style, but today it's Carlton with all the runners.
Madigan from the back pocket. Gleeson's play back there to get the handball under pressure was terrific. Kernahan's mark. Got a couple of options across the centre. Now called to play on. Bangs it to Silvani, who's outnumbered, but he can take a specky. Gets his hands on it. A chance for Delulio. The 19-year-old runs it to the pocket, and it's out of play.
Well, I like Delulio. He reminds me of Wayne Johnson. In Carlton's last premiership era, they recruited Wayne Johnson from the VFA, from Paran, and here we see again Delulio.
Caverton, well, he should have given a free kick away to Taylor, got him around the neck, and again a throw in. Well, the breeze has sprung up again, but a goal to the Blues here, and it would be a desperate situation for Hawthorn. It would put them, well, not out of reach, but with a commanding lead. Caverton and Taylor. Taylor in the front spot. Ben Allen caught, gets a quick kick away. Scholl played it very well. Bradley was a bit unlucky. Tries to rob it off Taylor. Platten was hassled out. Gleeson well played to Scholl. Left foot round the body. Gives it some hope into the goal square. Delulio and Cooper throw in the pocket.
Yes, they're hanging on well, the Blues. 13-7 to 8-11. Hawthorn desperately trying to get something moving, but they've done their homework well, and they're pressuring the Hawthorn players and not making it easy, and they can't get that flow-on game going. Here they go again. Fraser Brown caught, threw it away. No free kick. This is Langford racing after it. Should soccer it. Oh, he does, but he kicks it straight to Hawthorn. Hawthorn straight up in the air. Waiting underneath it is Spalding. Gowers at the back. The ball hits the deck. Spalding caught, loses it to Gowers. The Hawks go forward. A wobbly kick by Gowers. Hannah has been supreme. Oh, it's knocked on, but straight to Steve Kernahan. Oh, the players desperately in after it. Alvin breaks the tackle. Alvin a handball. Racing through with Ratton. Ratton the long kick to the pocket, and a great mark by Madigan in defence.
Well, from one end to the other, frantic pace this game being played at. Madigan goes short. Finds McDonald at half-back.
Yes, but Hawthorn really need a lift from their forwards. They've got Morrissey up on the flank. He's been quiet. Paul Hudson hasn't been sighted today. Deere's been well held. And Tony Hall is being really beaten by Milan Hannah across half forward.
Jenke to centre wing. Morrissey misses it. Hannah. Bradley. Hogg with a little one off the ground. Dean well played to Sexton. Again the Blues go forward. Langford misses one. Chance now. Caverton went without it. Hawthorn under extreme pressure. Cooper's left foot. Will he find Ayres? He does. And the captain from the 50-yard mark with a left footer.
Well, he's found Jenke. They really can't get their game going, and that's all credit to Carlton. Ben Allen is marked at half back. With all their men are covered, he's looking for a short option. Allen to half forward. Deere with strength. Can't grab it. Ratton did it well. Here's Platten. Now Bradley. Well done by Bradley to Ratton. Ratton to the pocket. Silvani. Was he held? Steve Silvani picks up. Hooks a goal. And he's missed. Oh, what a bad miss. It could have almost nailed Hawthorn. 5 minutes of play left in this third quarter. 13-8 to 8-11, but you'd never ride off the Hawks.
Yes, well, he did everything right there, Silvani. Held out his opponent in Madigan with the left hand. Just couldn't quite convert the goal.
Well, Langford gets a lot of distance into the breeze. Hudson couldn't take it. Gleeson's handball will ricochet off Hawthorn. Ayres getting some touches in this third term. Dean, a bit unlucky, then holds it up cleverly though. Deere's handball from McDonald. Hannah's been a magnificent player today. He's been wonderful, has Hannah, with a bounce. And from half-back, Kernahan's his target. The captain couldn't quite take it, but he recovers and gives him a chance and bursts his way through. Off balance, goes to the pocket. And had he scored a goal there, he would have brought the grandstand down.
Well, that was just typical of the way Carlton's playing today. Kernahan bullocking and pushing the ball forward. And we see Carlton in attack. They've just been too strong for Hawthorn again. They're too tall and they've got too many runners at the base of the pack.
Great Mark Caviton, the short passes on, it's a shocker. They've done some silly things, but they've played well, the Blues. That was Pritchard getting it to Langford. Langford, this is where they're falling down, Hawthorn. Deer with strength. On to Ayres. Oh, Ayres ducks the head, but goes and gets it again. Kicks it quickly to half forward. Some good use of the body, but Jenky's got it. Where's Dunstall? Here he is, the leader's on, and Dunstall, a great mark under severe pressure. And great pass by Ray Jenky, and, well, if he kicks a goal here, they'll just be within distance again, Gerard.
Yes, it was a beautiful kick, and Brett Scholl and Paul Cooper having a bit of a stoush on the wing. Was it Alec McDonald? But Dunstall has been quiet since quarter time. Really needs to kick this one to get Hawthorn back into it.
Jason Dunstall for his fourth. The umpire goes across. I think it's a goal. Yes, for to Jason Dunstall. So the Hawks sneak a little bit closer, 86-65, so that's 21 points.
Yes, well, that goal was kicked against the flow of play because Carlton have been attacking relentlessly for the last 6 or 7 minutes. Couldn't quite get a major on the board. We saw Silvani miss what he should have kicked. The ball flows up quickly to Hawthorn, and Dunstall kicks his fourth.
(86-65). The margin reduced to 21 points. Kernahan to Alvin out of the centre to half forward. Oh, Silvani, a great mark against Madigan.
Well, this really has signalled Silvani's return to league football. Just a quiet performer last week, but today he's been supreme. Could possibly have kicked an extra couple of goals, but he's giving Madigan a lesson today.
Well, he's not only given Madigan a lesson, he's given a couple of other fellas a lesson before Madigan got on him.
Yes, this is Madigan's turn at the moment, but he got rid of Ayres initially, and now he lines up for goal.
Jenky had a try. Langford's about the only one who hasn't. Silvani with a high one. He's kicked it badly. Just off the boil a bit, isn't he, at the moment? He's playing very well, but hasn't been confident in his approach to goal, and it's 87-65.
Well, it is one of Carlton's worries, a little bit of a worry anyway, in that their two main forwards at the moment, both Kernahan and Silvani, aren't great shots at goal.
Ball at half back for the Hawks as they try to get it away out of that pack. Now, we've got just over 2 minutes of play left in the third term. And the last thing Carlton would want here is Hawthorn to race it up and get a goal and be within distance at three-quarter time. Because they've played a very good call. Oh, that was a wild boot went into that pack, and the umpire had to pay that. As Gary Ayres comes up holding his end, good to see that being paid.
Yeah, Tom Alvin was the one with the kick there.
Well, there's Ayres to the half-forward line. Paul Deer, he's got a couple to beat. In fact, he's got 3 to beat. Sexton was one of them, and Sexton taps it. No, it's still in play, but not good play or to go out. And in the meantime, it's a free kick Carlton's way as Hawthorn were off and running. And then a switch against Paul Deer, obviously.
Yes, he impaled Ben Sexton, or Michael Sexton, on the boundary line fence there, and the umpire wasn't too pleased with it. He's paid the free kick. But this is a very good performance by Carlton when you consider that they've got only 5 players from their premiership side out.
Ball at half back. Here's Earl Spalding kicking it high, a wobbly one. That's an Earl Spalding special, as you call him, Gerard. Oh, it bounces back into play, and then it's tapped over to the line.
The old Prince Alfred special. Up and under.
Well, he's had a few touches, Spalding. 9 kicks and 5 handballs. He's doing the ruck work with Taylor. Gowers gets a quick one away. A minute remaining in this third term. It's been exciting. Brown and Pritchard.
Well, missing from the Hawthorn premiership side today, a Brereton. We know he's got that hip problem, and who knows when he'll be back. Mew, Lawrence, Tuck, who's retired, of course, and Condon, who's coming back from injury.
Tap by Spalding, taken by Bradley. Punch forward again by Spalding. Cooper takes the mark. Plays on. Last 30 seconds in this third term. Hannah. Brown, an important ball to be won. Did it very well, gives Hannah some hope. Hannah breaks 2 tackles. He's been a star today, then takes too long, goes holding the ball. Well, can Hawthorn goal in the last 20 seconds? Morrissey will go to Dunstall. It's an important play, this one. Kernahan gets back and the captain takes the mark.
Well, Carlton have been using that man dropping back in defence all day, and doing it well on that occasion was Kernahan.
Delulio the target, but time will beat them. Platten as the siren goes now. And at three-quarter time, it's 13-9 to 9-11. Start of the final term at Princes Park. The Blues lead by 22 points, 13-9 to 9-11. Hawthorn go to the left of screen. Paul Deere on the ball in the ruck. Greg Deere on the interchange. Collins' kick out of the centre. Here's Jenke, the handball to Hudson. An early goal would be handy. Left foot by Hudson to the square. Hannah getting back. He's been one of the very best today. And that one hitting the behind post. So a throw in the pocket.
Well, Hudson's only had 6 kicks and 2 handballs, been well held by Hawthorn today, and he needs to get into the game for Hawthorn to get back into it.
Kavanagh and Taylor. Taylor to Collins, smothered by Sexton. Well, Scholl could have done better. He had 3 around him and decided to punch it away, but Hannah got it to halfback McDonald. And Dean, now Allen. Bangs it back towards full forward. Sexton. The wind just caught the footy for a while. No free kick to Hawthorn. Sexton towards the boundary line. It'll probably beat Jenke out, and it does. And Carlton are defending strongly. Sexton and Hannah have been the 2 mainstays at the back for them.
Yes, Hannah has been tremendous across that half-back line. He's beaten Tony Hall. A big chance here to cause one of the upsets for a long time. Oh, there's Platten, a quick kick. Collins racing at it. He'll go, oh, he got a bad bounce. Sexton. It's all Hawthorn though. Jenke calling for it, and also Taylor. Oh, he went to play on then, Taylor.
Andrew Collins onto the ball for the first time today. Obviously Hawthorn looking for something.
Well, the Flyers are there. Oh, that's a great mark in defence by Dean.
Well, they've been well beaten around the packs today, Hawthorn, so Collins may give them that bite in the last quarter.
Alvin did it well. Fraser Brown kicks along the ground. Cooper playing in front of Delulio, forces it towards Pritchard, and Pritchard takes it over. Been a top performances by Carlton. They've pressured the champion Hawthorn side right throughout the game. They haven't had that easy flow-on game that they're used to.
Kavanagh. Bradley sits and waits. Allen might take it off him. Didn't though. Brown with Anderson and Paul Deere running across from the side. Significant move that Paul Deere's on the ball. There's Brown with his 9 kicks and 9 handballs. He's had the better of his wing, as has Scholl on his. Kernahan against Deere. Deere thumps it back. Brown about to have his 10th kick. A torpedo punt, gets a bit of distance. Spalding Gowers at the back. Platten on the bottom of it. Around the bodies, had a quiet day for him. Only 8 kicks so far, and that one ineffective. And Dean to bring it back in.
Yes, a lot of the good Hawthorn players have been down. Paul Hudson's had a very quiet game. Jamie Morrissey, Platten. Oh, that almost a free kick to Carlton. Is that a mark? Umpire says it is. So it's Paul Deere. Onto the left foot he goes. The long wobbly kick to the half-forward line. Hall drops it. Here's Taylor getting it to Hudson. Hudson went without it. It's shuffled out to Gleeson. That was from Fraser Brown. In towards Spalding. Thumped away. That was a beautiful punch away. That was by Gowers to McDonald. McDonald back to Allen. Allen around the corner of the half-forward line. Anderson, or is it Hall? In fact, it's Dean Anderson. Now, they want the first goal, Hawthorn. In towards full forward. Dunstall. Thumped the ground. Hawthorn comes in to lend a hand. Good tackle, Dunstall. Players racing after it. Carlton did it well. Kavanagh out of defence, and well done because it's gone to Ratton.
Sweeps a handball to Gleeson. To Brown. Goes towards centre half forward. Not a good kick off the boot, but it found Arceri. Silvani's in the goal square calling for it, run out. Arceri pops it up. Silvani goes against Madigan and beats him again. A brilliant mark. Wonderful bit of play by Silvani. And Arceri saw it, Jared. He saw the one-out situation.
Yeah, great vision from Arceri. He's played well today. But this man has really set Carlton alight. He's kicked 5 goals and had 12 possessions, and importantly lines up for an easy 6th.
Well, has he snuck it in? He has. 14-9, 9-11, Silvani's kicked 6.
Yes, well, this is a real challenge for Madigan. He's been beaten by Silvani on the last 2 occasions. And Carlton really now have a very big lead under these circumstances. They're full of running. They've got winners all over the ground, and particularly in the centre where it counts, getting the ball out of the centre. Hawthorn have got the job ahead of them.
Paul Hudson off, Morrissey on. Terrific performances by Carlton, and if the Hawks can get out of jail here, it'll be a sensational victory. Let's see how good they are as we see McDonald to Taylor on the good lead. Good strong mark. Will he give it to Pritchard? No, he won't. He's going back he's kicking short to the pocket. Collins has marked. Now he's on a very acute angle. Now the last thing Carlton want is a quick reply from the Hawks. Andrew Collins, the gutsy little back pocket player, has been moved onto the ball as he kicks from the pocket. Oh, it's close. Beautiful looking kick. It's a goal. So the Hawks fight back. Can they get up 14-9 to 10-11? They're within striking distance.
Well, Collins was moved onto the ball specifically, I'm sure, to give them a bit of bite. Platten's been well held all day, and Morrissey, one of their on-ballers of the last year, has also been out of the game. So Collins has kicked a vital goal there for Hawthorn, which responds to Silvani's up the other end. This game isn't over yet.
93-71, 22-point margin. Deere runs into Cavan and then kicks around the body. Dean takes the mark at half-back. Got a little better in the last 30 minutes, Dean. There's a bit of an imbalance for him early in the match. A kick to centre-half or Gleeson off the ground, only to Allen on top of him. And good contest there, and it'll be a ball up.
Well, since Paul Deer's been moved into the ruck, Hawthorn have won the last 3 takeaways. They were badly beaten 6-1 in the third quarter. If they're to win, they must get the ball out of the centre.
Well, he gets that tap away, Jared. Alvin goes to ground. Ratton, still Ratton. Well played, Ratton to get it towards Silvani. Silvani again, number 7. Arsiri in the pocket, snap, a great kick. Hits the post.
Well, Greg Madigan's got to learn to watch the flight of the ball and not his opponent. Jared, when that ball was coming down, he was watching his opponent knock the ball.
Yes, he doesn't look as if he's at home under the pressure at full back, 1 out. Not sure he's going to last there too much longer.
A big thump away, that was by Paul Deer again. The quick kick comes to Alvin. Alvin along the ground. Oh, strong play to Bradley from Spalding was tremendous play. Bradley set sail for home and has missed. And that's just letting Hawthorn off the hook a little bit, those last couple of misses.
Yes, we don't often see Bradley missing goals on the run, and we do see now that Langford has changed onto Silvani.
I really felt that should have been done a while back. It was the obvious move, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Langford again to kick in. He might go out wide to Gowers here. Gowers and Madigan thump the ground. Here's Paul Deer trying to get onto the left foot, too slow. Gets it to Jenke. Jenke taps it on Jarman, doesn't grab the ball. Socket off the ground by Bradley. It's on centre wing, it's tapped on to Bradley. The brilliant Bradley has a bounce. Jarman, shepherded by Kernahan. Langford at the back, Silvani at the front. It's tapped the ground as the players racing after it. Oh, here's a chance for the Blues. A Syrian open goal. Goal! And now it looks like it's very, very hard for Hawthorn. The Blues kick clear as Arsiri kicks his second. 5 goals the margin.
Well, goal to mark Arsiri, but Carlton supporters, you can put that one down to Adrian Gleeson. He was the one that smothered Gower's handball under pressure. Rebounded to Arsiri in the goal square, who kicked what we might say at the moment is an unassailable lead.
I wouldn't write him off yet, Jared.
Never write off the Hawks.
Write him off. But I like the lead, 5 goals.
15-11, 10-11. The stand is shaking at Princes Park. Bradley's been magnificent today. Brown Arsiri too slow. Good take by Hogg under pressure. You reckon the next goal, if it's Carlton, would bury Hawthorn, but you wouldn't give the Hawks away just yet. Langford bangs it to half-forward. Taylor got rid of Sexton cleverly. Whips it backwards to Jarman, who's very clever, and he'll find Dunstall. He ran underneath it. Dunstall gets a free kick in the back. It was there.
Oh.
I think he gave him a shove.
Well, there's not many Carlton supporters here that agree with you. I guess technically it was there. Hawthorn have only kicked 4 goals since the 18-minute mark of the second quarter, and if they're to win, they're going to have to kick 5 or 6 or 7 even goals in less than 20 minutes.
They need 2 or 3 quick ones to have any chance, don't they?
Pressure on Dunstall here.
Kick 4 goals. Will this be number 5? Drop punt. It's a good-looking kick. Hits a post. Third time they've done it today, the Hawks. Dunstall, his second occasion, he's hit the post, and it's 4 goals through to the champion full forward. And in the wash-up, how important will that one be?
David Kernahan. Try and kick as long as he can. Alex McDonald and Paul Dewar. McDonald, a brilliant mark. What about that one?
Yeah, sensational mark from Alex McDonald.
Now he's bringing it across the centre. He's found Pritchard on his own.
It's been quiet today.
Now the leader's on. Oh, he's kicked it too high for Dunstall. Dunstall sets himself. Brilliant mark. A sensational mark. He arched the backside out, arched the back, and David Kernahan had no chance of thumping that away.
Well, that was classic body position from Dunstall. He was out of position, and as Peter McKenna, legendary full forward, said, pushed the bum right out, managed to take a well-earned mark.
Jason Dunstall has kicked 4. They need this, the Hawks. Dunstall kicks. Oh, the goal umpire goes across. And he has missed. A shocker. An absolute shocker from there. And how costly are these last 2 kicks by the champion full forward?
Yes, well, they should have set Hawthorn alight, but at the moment, Carlton is still with the big advantage. Dunstall burst onto the scene in the first quarter, kicked 3 goals in succession, and we thought maybe another dozen coming up, but he's been well held by Kernahan since.
Kernahan bangs it to Caverton. A whole group there. DeLilio. Out of play. Well done, Dean. Well, you just wonder if Hawthorn has missed their big chance in the last minute. It's a long way back from 5 goals with about 16 minutes remaining. They could still do it, but how many chances do they need? Here's Ben Allen. Oh, well played, Bradley. And then well played by Cooper. The quick kick away by the Hawks, a half forward. But every time this happens, it goes out of play and it stops and starts. Carlton gain valuable seconds.
They've been desperate, Carlton, haven't they?
Well, Caverton was just on the ground a second ago with cramp, so he's obviously may need to be replaced in the ruck. And Kernahan coming down now to do that.
Here's half forward. Oh, it's tapped to the line by Caverton. Good thinking. So it'll be another throw in, as Bruce McAvaney said. Valuable seconds ticking away. There's still over 15 minutes of play left, so there's plenty of time. But the way the Carlton defence has been playing and all round the ground, they've been manning up and desperate Carlton. It's been be very difficult for the Hawks. Oh, here's the brilliant Morrissey. Don't tell me he's going to do something brilliant. No, he's missed. But a great attempt.
Yes, it was a good shot of goal on the left foot. Hasn't been the best of days for the man they call the Freak. But still, this game's still up for grabs, Peter.
Here's Sexton doing it for David Kernahan this time. Stephen Kernahan's a target. Taylor at the front. Gleeson's been terrific today. So's Hannah. Bradley calling for it. Hannah goes to half forward. Spalding waits for it. Gower's with him. Oh, Spalding does a Dunstall and puts up the rear and takes the mark. Now, can he use it? He wants Silvani. Madigan's back on him. Silvani. DeLilio. And it's a behind. So I thought Langford had gone on to Silvani. Might have just been caught out of position for a moment, Langford. And it's 15-12 to 10-14.
We see Langford going back to take the kick. I think he followed Kernahan down into the ruck, but we see him now readjusting at full back.
Half-back line, the ball. Here's a chance for the Hawks. Ben Allen from the centre. It's a wobbly one. Tony Hall versus Hannah. Over the back is Morrissey. He can kick from 50, Jamie Morrissey. He straightens up and it's a goal to the Hawks. Well, can this champion team do it? They creep closer. The scoreboard, 15-12 to 11-14.
Yes, well, a few positional changes there. Caverton, with cramp, has gone to full forward and he's been picked up by Langford, which means Madigan has to go back onto Silvani. And we see that Silvani has outpointed Madigan on too many occasions for my liking, with Kernahan now taking his spot in the ruck.
The Hawks edge a little closer at 80 to 102 with 14 minutes remaining, just under that. Ayres tries to take it from the centre. They all overrun it. Here's Morrissey, who's had a quiet one until the last couple of minutes. Paul Deere having some influence. The centre half forward, Hall sets himself. Hannah off the ground by Anderson. Sexton. Pressure. Well, he deliberately went to the boundary line and he'll get away with it.
Only option he had there as a backman, and got away with it well.
Well, he wasn't all that sophisticated about what he was doing, but it was very effective. Kernahan doing the ruck work. And he does the same thing, goes whack.
Well, this is just time wasting now from Carlton. And I think a good move getting Kernahan onto the ball. Carlton were getting beaten in the centre by Paul Deere. This is just adjusted the ledger. Sorry, Bruce.
I was just thinking, a bit dangerous if they go ultra defensive. They'd want one more goal to be certainties.
The umpires have thrown away the whistle. They brought in that rule, Gerard, a couple of years ago, the man who dives on the ball. And haven't paid one today, have they?
It's back to where it was 2 years ago, Pete.
I'm not saying that one was a free because they've been consistent all day on that. They just haven't paid it. Here's Taylor. Did a good hit out. Platten and Pritchard. Platten, the little rover on the left foot. Hooks it in a goal and has missed. But Hawthorn are peppering the goals. And one gets the feeling, a little bit of a break, a couple of quick goals, and they'd be right back in this.
We have to give Hogg a bit of a rap because he's kept Platten, one of Hawthorn's great champions, to only 14 possessions at this point of the game. And he's been very instrumental in the position Carlton find themselves.
Kernahan kicks towards Stephen Kernahan and Dean. Hannah, good handball to Stephen Kernahan. Sums up the options, bangs at the centre half forward, Collins and Arceri. Strong mark Collins. Got rid of Arceri. Langford runs out wide for him. He goes on further. Not a good kick. Oh, well played. Fraser Brown can bang it to Silvani. You back him from here. Well, that's bread and butter for Stephen, isn't it? What a great mark. Uncanny timing Silvani's got with those.
Well, at one stage I thought he was going to take the sit on top of Madigan, but his judgment was impeccable there. He saw the ball just float a little bit longer. He took it in the outstretched hands, but a great kick from Brown to kick it over the back of the pack.
Silvani for number 7. Goal. 16, 12 to 11, 15. Well,
Stephen Silvani here is back in town at Princess Park. Won the best and fairest in 1990 and 7 goals today. The first home game for Carlton is a fantastic performance, and perhaps we might see another person on the goal kicking list to be aiming for the ton.
Back to the centre, Paul Deere versus Kernahan. Paul Deere did it fairly well. Alvin has been a good player. That quick kick out to Fraser Brown. Hot on his hammer is Gowers. Brown did it well. Arceri on the left foot. Where's Silvani? Over the back, it's thumped away by Langford. Picked up by Hogg. A quick hand pass. Cooper takes it to the line and over. But time running down, just under 11 minutes of play for the Hawks, and I don't doubt very much whether they can do it. Carlton are playing too well.
Cavidan, Paul Deere over the back. Handball by Cooper. Here's Platten. Bradley still with Platten from half back. Weaves his way through. Wobbly kick. Morrissey was his target. Stephen Kernahan. 3 Carlton players. Dean inside to Kernahan. Silvani the target. Great kick. A beauty by Kernahan to Silvani. It's been very good today, Kernahan, Jared, when he's been on the ball.
Yes, he hasn't kicked the goals that he did last week, but on the ball he has really brought a lot of players into the game around him, and I just see Craig Bradley recovering on the forward flank. He's had 27 possessions, run himself into the ground, won the ball out of the centre on a lot of occasions, best on the ground for mine.
Well, this man's going to line up for number 8. He hasn't played a bad game. And got it. 17, 12, 11, 15. And that is it. The Blues will win here now.
The Blues will win, and they'll win comfortably. Stephen Silvani uses that well-known Australian communication tool, the thumb, gives him the thumbs up. When you consider that Williams, Dorotich, Madden, Phillips and O'Sullivan are out of this Carlton side, we might be seeing an improved side coming up.
Yes, they've been very impressive, particularly with Kernahan on the ball. There's Andrew Collins. Now it's Paul Deere. Ducked the head and he gets a free kick. A little bit lucky. Now he's off. Ben Allen brought the ground. And he was held. A couple of doubtful little free kicks, but
great pressure from Carlton. They've been doing it all day, outmanning Hawthorn and just dragging players to the ground.
There's a good lead. Dunstall, can he get there? Oh, he hesitated a little bit. I don't know whether he's 100% fit now, Dunstall. He hit his ankle last week, Gerard. You just wonder the way he ran off that ball.
There's a little bit of a question, but I guess when you consider he kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes in the first quarter, he should be fit enough to do better than he has since quarter time.
Taylor, here's Platten, high one to centre half forward. Jarman had a good first half, he's been quiet since. Ratton under pressure, Hall tried to snare it, playing without confidence though. Jarman couldn't take it, he's besieged from both sides, and it'll be Peter Carey's the umpire.
Well, this is the most physical I have seen a Carlton side play for about 5 years. They're gang tackling. They're not letting players from Hawthorn handball over the head and run down. They're putting players to the ground. They're attacking the ball unmercifully, and Hawthorn, unbelievably, are walking aside.
Alvin, Bradley, no free kick. McDonald, Scholl, and Dean.
Oh, he's hurt his elbow, Peter Dean. He's hurt his elbow
That's
badly.
a broken arm, Peter.
Yes, he's broken his arm, I think.
That's
that
about
is
the
awful.
4th occasion he's done that, and that is real problems for Peter Dean. That's a tragedy.
Straight off the ground. That is shocking luck for Peter Dean. This stage of the game too, when they're doing so well, and he looks like he might have broken his arm. Here's McDonald, Anderson, and a free kick. A couple of Hawthorn players are down. I don't know whether they've collided or what's happening here. But there's a free kick coming back to the Hawks.
Well, Craig Bradley copped one in the back of the head about 2 minutes ago, and he just let Dean Anderson have one in kind. A couple of Hawthorn players went down. It was like a battlefield, 2 or 3, but that is just a tragedy for Peter Dean. That could even spell the end of his career.
Well, you've written him off quickly, Jeremy. He has had a lot of arm problems. Here's the ball over the back. It's a free kick for a push out. I think it's Carlton's way, and it is.
Well, the problem there, Peter, is that he's broken it on 3 or 4 occasions, and it's just it's a real tragedy.
Well, this is Steve Kernahan. He set a fine example, particularly when he's gone into the ruck. That's been a match-winning move in my book.
Kernahan to half-back. Cavendish his target. He goes early. Well played at the back by Madigan, but thumped away by the Blues, and Bradley's been an inspiration. Well, they've had Silvani, Bradley and Kernahan. They're 3 charismatic players all firing today.
Ian Aitken on the ground to replace the injured Dean, and Hudson just coming onto the ground for McDonald.
Taylor in the front spot. Platten getting some kicks in the second half, but they've been mainly on the defensive. Hawthorn and Hannah. Hannah, who has been so very good all day, and that time running it out of play. Well, the Blues are safe at 17-12 to 11-15. It's an early upset, let's say, in 1992. A big upset in the second round of the season. Free kick to Kernahan, obviously. I think he's enjoying this today, the captain.
Well, it's high times now for Carlton after a bit of a problem last week against the Bears. They produced a remarkable comeback, 27 points down at half-time, but today they've led from the outset, although they were a little bit of a shaky start against Hawthorn.
Steve Kernahan to centre wing. Paul Deere, almost a good mark. Aiken having a run. Dean Anderson and Jenke. Anderson caught. Well done, Bradley. And the pressure of Carlton.
Well, Bradley's been inspirational today. He's picked up numerous possessions, 27, 16 kicks, 11 handballs, but he's smothering and tackling.
Yes.
The things that he's not known for have been superb.
And all the Carlton players too, Gerard. Here's a free kick going Hawthorn's way, and it will go to Paul Deere.
Deere from half-back into the centre square. Thump was by Ratton. Taylor. Now Scholl. No effective kick. Taylor around the body, only as far as Sexton. Here's Jenke's left-footed to the space. Anderson, who's not 100% fit after that hard knock. gives it across to Collins. Collins back turns, uses his pace, then takes on Aiken, then lines them up, goes for goal. It's in the square. Dunstall times it all right, but so does Hannah. And he does it again, Hannah, by thumping it through for a behind. 17-12 to 11-16.
Well, all the Carlton matchups have worked well today. Hogg's taken Platten out of the game. Ratton has done well on Jarman after half-time. Hall has been badly beaten by Hannah, and Hudson's been kept quiet by Hawthorn.
This is Ben Allen crashing his way through. Ratton. Oh, did it well. Tony Hall runs at it. Fraser Brown, it was a good tackle on him. A good tackle again. Pritchard. Oh, caught one round the head. Umpire calls play on unbelievably. Taken away by Ratton. Ratton out to DeLulio, who is a clever little player. Gets in a hand pass, but straight to Paul Cooper. While Cooper goes back to a man who's covered. Ooh, that's a free kick down the field, I would think. And it is to be taken by, is it Hudson or Collins? Looks like Hudson. As they raffle that one. 4.5 minutes of play left. Paul Hudson's had a very, very quiet day. 6 kicks and 2 handballs as he kicks from 50 up to the square. Jamie Morris here at the back almost took the mark. Oh, tried a back flick. Now a kick over the head by Collins for a goal, but it's too late. Andrew Collins has kicked 2, and he and Asiri having a bit of a dust-up. Carlton with the game well and truly won 17-12 to 12-16.
Yeah, so that was Collins' second goal in the final quarter. He was thrown onto the ball to give them a bit of bite. But as we have said, it's too late now for Hawthorn, and they trail miserably.
26-point margin here, 4 minutes remaining. The Hawks need 5 goals in 4 minutes. It seems beyond them. Carey coming on to take the ball. Ayres patting Pritchard on the head, but a big upset here. Silvani with his 8 goals, Bradley, Kernahan, Hannah amongst the stars for the Blues in an excellent team performance. Kernahan goes in the ruck, Ben Allen round the body. Hannah versus Deer, misses it, makes a rare error. Deer looks to go inside, then goes for goal and misses, kicks it out of bounds on the fall. And when you look back, Jared, those 2 shots that Jason Dunstall had midway through this term really ended Hawthorn's run.
Yes, it just doused the fire with what looked like a bit of a spell from Hawthorn, a bit of a comeback spell. And really the game has been a little bit flat since then.
Platten goes to the line. It'll be a throw-in. 3 minutes of play left. It's been a top performance this by Carlton. And, well, most people didn't give Carlton much of a chance pre-season for the 6, but they're playing with some desperate endeavour at the moment. If they keep this up, they've got plenty of talent to come back in. And Greg Williams, Jared, make a huge difference too when he plays.
Well, the way Bradley, the form he's been in today, and team him up with Greg Williams, it's going to be a sensation for Carlton. But I think they've done well on the wings also, Carlton. Fraser Brown and Brett Scholl have controlled what's usually a real advantage and a strength of Hawthorn.
Hudson, Jarman from the side, couldn't take it. Hannah, quick kick away. Paul Deer sets himself. Going with him is Aitken. And the Blues are celebrating here.
I think one question we've got to ask is that Justin Madden's role coming back into this side. They seem very good with the mobile ruckman. Caverton, Kernahan's another option, and Earl Spalding. I wonder if he might be squeezed out, Peter.
Well, if he comes back in, they could be accused of being top heavy, couldn't they? You know, if they had too many big guys in.
I don't think I think somebody would have to go.
Kernahan to Hannah. Millen takes a run and then bangs it out towards Sexton. And Scholl, bad bounce there. Jenke. Scholl gets back. Well played, Jenke, in the end. But the Blues still with a bit of a chance. Scholl off the ground. Cooper and DeLulio. Good tussle there. Cooper under pressure. Taylor again under pressure. The tackling's been a feature. Scholl keeps it into Alvin. Little toe poke. Oh, played Bradley. Used his body brilliantly against Allen and let him go all the way. It'll be great if he kicks a goal here. He's played well enough. Has he hammered it home? He's just missed. but he's been sensational, hasn't he?
Well, that would have capped off a marvellous game for Craig Bradley. He has run probably 25 kilometres and picked up 30-odd possessions today.
Yes, he's been great. Madigan. Collins. Now he can run 50 if he wants to. One bounce. Well, they go again. He'll probably end up giving the hand pass to Pritchard here. Kernahan has to go at him. Over to Pritchard. Pritchard from 60 metres brings it up in front of goal. Jason Taylor and Sexton, and it's forced through for a behind. And Sexton's been excellent that last line of defence. The whole Carlton back line, well, the whole Carlton side.
They've been fantastic.
They've been terrific.
Their attack on the ball, they're backing up, they're running through the lines has been superb. And they're getting the just desserts, a well-earned victory.
Sexton, Hannah sandwiched in between. Greg Deere goes to ground. Tom Alvin on the up to Arceri. 30 seconds remaining. The Blues by 26 points. 3 bounces. Arceri bangs it towards Spalding. Big Earl. Still with Earl. Well, that is an Earl special, isn't it? That's a beauty. The centre half forward. That was a hard one to take. Here's Pritchard inside the last 15 seconds. Stephen Kernahan back. Hudson there, and well played by Aitken to get rid of Hudson.
I think he must practice those left foot mungles early, doesn't he? With repetitious perfection.
Well, not a good kick by Kernahan, but there's the siren. And the Blues by 26 points, so Deere goes back and might have a shot here. We want to hurry up. The left foot, long kick, and David Kernahan takes it, and Carlton has won. They've pulled off a big surprise at Princess Park. It's the Blues led by that man Kernahan, and inspired by Bradley and Silvani. They've won 17-13, 115 to 12-17, 89.